up with a slow motion crew, and we up in our cloudlands when people change, but not us. And we just chillin', kicking it, kissed by the sun. Could be soaked to the skin in the mall soon. I know she got the good vibes when seasons change, but we're the same. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. 'Cause you got me holding, holding. 'Cause you got me holding. And I'll be running, possessed by a lone, low voodoo. Fired up like a wolf on a full moon. And we're stuck in a la la land. The tides will turn without us. And I'll be killing time like I might be a cartoon. Take it in real life like haiku. I know we got the good vibes when pieces fall right into place. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. 'Cause you got me holding, holding. 'Cause you got me holding. Play me like a bass guitar. Simmer down and mash me up. Tripping.
Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the 7th round of the Baltic Masters. So far we've seen 6 rounds played on our journey to find out in the end who will go to that play-in of EU Masters. As a reminder, 2 teams are going to the play-ins and they are gonna divide the cash prize, but of course the prime prize here is that slot. We passed our halfway to our of our Baltic Masters. We're gonna see how this all unravels. Today we're gonna watch 3 matches, as you already know, and with me we have a new refreshment here on our desk. With me today there are Glisha and Michko. Glisha, hello and welcome to our studio and to the Baltic Masters. How do you feel coming into this Masters?
Well, thank you very much. I'm very, very excited to see these new teams play, since I haven't watched them very much, and
Yep.
I'm a bit disappointed about Kenty, since we saw them on,
Yep.
on the last EU Masters, and now they're at the bottom of the league of the standings, and I really want to see them improve and see them play a bit better, but it seems like it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, we talked about Kenty, how we saw them on the EU Masters. They've played there, but they haven't showed us the game that they were showing last season. Well, they are on the bottom of the scoreboard. Let's go to the scoreboard. Let's see how are the standings right now. The standings are unchanged from last week. 5 Kings still 6-0. They haven't lost a single game so far. Just for fun, 4-2. Iron Wolves 3-3. The same as Estonian Vipers that both have 3-3. So we have here a tie. And Team Infamous and Kenty are on a tie at the bottom of the scoreboard. It's 1-5. 5 lost games. Michko, do you think that here Team Infamous has a chance of going up there? When we started this, we thought at the beginning of the game, at the beginning of the league, that Team Infamous seemed to be like a good opponent to these top standing teams, but right now they're on the bottom.
Not really sure. I mean, every single team has to play 4 games, if I'm not wrong. So there is a mathematical chance for them to actually finish in the top 4, but they do have some tough matches until then, and it will be tough for them to actually reach the top 4. Also, Kenty, they got their first win, so maybe this is a new beginning for them. I don't know. Yeah, maybe that will be a comeback for them, but again, they as well have a pretty difficult schedule, and it will be pretty good for them to actually improve during those matches and maybe improve over time as well. That can impact the playoff matches as well.
It's going to be a difficult road for both of those teams. And let's see what's on the program, what's in store for us for tonight. We're going to see first the team that we just talked about. It's going to be Team Infamous against Just for Fun. Then we're going to see 5 Kings against Estonian Vipers. And last but not least, Iron Wolves against Kenty. Glisho, is there a match that you really wanna watch? Like, that's gonna be exciting, the most exciting match here?
Well, it's definitely 5 Kings versus Estonian Vipers, because I saw that the picks here in Baltic Masters differ from the EBL picks, and there are lots of Evelyn and Veigar, and I see most of the picks are in 5 Kings, and it's very interesting seeing their draft. And since they're first on the board, I really want to see them stomp their opponents.
Yeah, definitely. That's going to be, I think, the most exciting match of the day. But let's go to the first one that we're going to watch. It's going to be Just for Fun taking trying to take down Infamous, or vice versa. Infamous trying to take down Just for Fun. Michko, what's your take on this match? Can Infamous here somehow be better than Just for Fun?
Well, not only in this match, but I think that in all 3 we have like a complete favorite team that will probably win the game. But why not? I mean, Infamous, they did not show up that well, but on the other side, Just for Fun, after their loss against 5 Kings, they look like an even better team than them. So maybe I really wouldn't give them much chances, honestly. I think this will be an easy win for Just for Fun as well in the second game. Maybe the third one can be interesting, because Iron Wolves can look one day pretty good. On the other, some other match, they can look not that good as we are used to. And then Kenty, with the win, maybe they can have a chance at that match. But all 3 will be definitely interesting to watch.
Yeah, as we said, all matches have their favorites. Let's go into the lineups of the first match. We're going to see Team Infamous trying to take down Just for Fun. Team Infamous, on the side of Team Infamous, there are Blind Boy, Chaffilol, Slola, Mr. Freeze, and their sub, Fapa, or Fopa. Not really sure.
I think it's Fapa.
Fapa, right?
Yeah, Fapa.
And on the side of Just for Fun, welcome Yanax, Dalmas, Cyrex, and Mercenary. Just for Fun showed us that their playstyle can differ from something that they showed us last week or the day before. Grisha, what do you think Just for Fun can show us? Can they? Now you said that there are a lot of picks that we don't see usually in competitive plays. It's usually on the side of Iron Wolves or 5 Kings, pardon, but can other teams learn from their opponents?
Well, definitely yes, because they're playing in the same league as them, and they're playing against them, which is much more important, and they can see their playstyle and maybe adapt to it, and maybe even copy it against the weaker teams in the league. And definitely, Just for Fun, I really want to see their usual playstyle, nothing new, because they're definitely the favorites in this game. But on the other side, Infamous is the team that needs to pick something that's not very much expected, and something that will surprise Just for Fun, and maybe that's how they take the win.
Michu, do you think that's the road for the win here? Take something that your opponent is not expecting, and then you get the win.
Well, sure. I mean, chasing is always a good solution for surprising the enemy team, and I'm not really sure how much this substitute will impact the game, because it's a substitute on a support position, and not really much people actually see the change after the support substitution. So they will have to play in a better mid lane, in the mid lane, in the top lane, in the bot lane. Maybe they can have a chance in the bot lane. We've seen Mercenary playing that Karma. He is comfortable on the Karma. I mean, he does provide good amounts of shielding and healing to his allies, but also he's really prone to inting that laning phase with Karma. So maybe give him Karma and try to stomp him early game, and then don't let Just for Fun actually come back to the game and retake the win. So maybe the new support can surprise us with some picks, maybe stomp the Karma and her AD carry, and maybe look to win in the bot lane.
Yeah, and since this is our first match, maybe not that difficult, since we have a absolute favorite.
Yeah.
Who you vote for?
Well, I'm gonna say Infamous. Definitely. Yeah.
What? Is for the sake of the desk, or you're voting for them?
Well, to be honest, I really like voting for teams that are
The underdog,
inferior
right? Yeah,
in the
yeah,
game.
yeah, yeah.
So it's much more exciting if they win.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He can.
I'm not that crazy, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna go for just for fun.
You're going with just for fun, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see how you voted on Instagram profile. Of course, you go to the Instagram profile, you click on the story, Baltic Masters, and then you vote for the team that you think or you wish to win. It's Team Infamous, 36% and 64% just for fun. It seems like it's not, that big of a percentage of just for fun. It's not like 80 or 90% on the side of just for fun. So, Grisha, you might here even have a chance of winning the first point here.
Yeah, but still 2 out of 3. I mean,
Yeah, yeah,
two-thirds
yeah.
of the voting, so
Yeah, we still have a lot of a lot of games, to come
Of
up. So
course.
yeah, we'll see who wins here today with the predictions. It seems like it's gonna be the competition between you two guys, as I see it right
Always.
now. It's always,
There's always the competition between us. You will never see us agree on the same thing.
Oh, okay.
Actually, yesterday was the
Yeah.
first time in like forever. But yeah, we'll always disagree with each other.
Okay,
Always.
we're having fun here on the desk. As you see, we have our little own competition, but the players are getting ready to jump into the Champions Select. Stay tuned, we're gonna watch Team Infamous trying to get to Just for Fun.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are heading into the champion select of the game number 1. Just for Fun is the favorite team in this match, and maybe Team Infamous with the substitution can actually look for a win here, maybe a chance to catch up to the top 4 teams, maybe try and get a chance of actually reaching top 4. Estonian Vipers do play 5 Kings after this match, so maybe if the 5 Kings win the game, now Infamous makes a surprising win, then they will be probably only on 1 win from being top 4. So they will definitely try to win this game, but Just for Fun, they have so far proven us that they don't play here just for fun.
Yeah, and it's like you said, when the substitute is on the support role, it doesn't really matter that much because supports are kinda always the same if you're playing a regular draft like Trash, Nautilus, Braum, and everything that's in the meta. But if it's an aggressive support player like Pantheon, maybe even Velkas and Xerath, we're gonna see a lot of Fiesta this game.
Honestly, not so much surprises have we seen in the support position. The only thing that actually was a surprise in the bot lane was the AD carry Veigar and the Taric Pike combo. So I'm not really sure if we will see a Vel'Koz or Xerath in the bot lane. But Team Infamous is on the blue side, so maybe they can try with some flexes. Maybe take, as you already said, Xerath, Vel'Koz, something like that, that can be flexed into the bot lane, which is for the support position, and nobody can maybe expect that to happen. We are on the new patch, 10 point, I think it's 15.
Yeah, it's 14 actually. It's not the new patch. The producer told me before the game that Baltic is played on 10.14, not 10.15.
So no Caitlyn, no Karthus.
Yeah,
probably.
Velios is still 200 years, and
yeah, the problem with the Baltic Masters, not many teams actually play Aphelios. Every single game we see Varus, we see Ezreal, and every time we see Ezreal, we see Kai'Sa on the other side. So maybe we will not have that Aphelios being played so much, but Infamous is a team that wants to play that Ezreal. It can maybe be luck here, just for fun. They banned the Karma, which is kind of interesting since Mercenary has played that pick in like last 3 or 4 games. So not really sure why they banned their own support pick, but maybe it's something that Infamous also wants to have on their side. Ezreal will be locked, so maybe we can now see the answer with that Kai'Sa. Nuno, well, I want to sit in the mid lane, but I already got spoilers that it's only a hover and it will never be locked in this game at least, so I'm hoping for some of the next matches that we will like.
Yeah, and definitely Karma is the pick that's the best pick on B1 for me, because it can be flexed on top, mid and support role. It's a three-way flex, and maybe that's the reason because they banned her. Yeah, they want to play it, but still you can't know all the way where is she gonna go. And on the other side, Nuno mid is just really disgusting, and I want to see it as well. Now Kha'Zix look like a blind pick. To me, that's not very good, because even Ezreal can itemize like Iceborne Gauntlet and maybe even Ninja Tabis depending on the matchup on the bot lane, and Kha'Zix is definitely more like a third, fourth peaky champion, and yeah, there's the Kai'Sa like you said.
Yeah, Kha'Zix, I don't really like it as a blind pick, because we have already got a chance to actually see it work as a blind pick. You get insta-countered, and basically your whole point in the game is to actually evolve the W and just become the slow bot, and nothing besides that. Again, killing Ezreal will be pretty hard, especially when you have Nautilus next to him. He provides a lot of CC, so Kha'Zix cannot burst down the Ezreal so fast, and also Ezreal with the flash, with the Arcane Shift, can run away from Kha'Zix pretty easily. Kai'Sa, on the other hand, we did see it as a counter pick for the Ezreal, but so far, if I'm not wrong, she didn't win a single game against Ezreal. So, not really that glad to see Kai'Sa being played, but I want to actually see it work. I love the champion. Her impact in the late game in killing people is pretty nasty, but we never saw that Kai'Sa play against the Ezreal when you ult into the backline, kill him pretty fast, and then find a way with the bonus movement speed and stealth to actually run away. Against Karthus, that can be pretty easy. I mean, Karthus' only mechanic is to press his ultimate and kill Kai'Sa. So if she goes for the maybe Phantom Dancer or maybe build Banshee's Veil, she can maybe survive.
Even Zhonya's is good.
Yeah, even Zhonya's is pretty good, but Cyrex did have some not that good games on Kai'Sa, especially when he played against Shen. He got taunt every single time, and he didn't buy QSS. Even though he got hit by the Shen taunt every single time, Shen wanted to use it on the Kai'Sa. And now they haven't banned the Shen yet, so if it goes into favor of Team Infamous, maybe something can happen in the late game. Also, Shen hits the taunt, Ezreal has a true shot barrage, and after that Karthus can use the Requiem.
Tons of
usually means that Kai'Sa is gonna be dead, and if Cyrex doesn't have the cleanse or the QSS, he will probably die. And also against the Nautilus, not really sure if he wants to take the cleanse. Nautilus does have a lot of CC, but those CCs are a knockback and a knockup.
Like
not many things that you can use cleanse against. Maybe you can cleanse flash, but you're trading 2 summoner spells to disable only one. Crowd control. Renekton as a blind pick for the top lane can be a good option, and with the Shen being banned, we'll see what Team Infamous wants to take in the top lane.
Yeah, I mean, they can choose now if they want to play the tank matchup, of course, or they can pick something like a snowballing matchup, like Jace, Aatrox, and stuff like that. But yeah, Ornn is definitely a much safer pick, and I'm very pleased they took Nautilus as well, because Kai'Sa works really well with Nautilus in lane, and even versus Ezreal, because yeah, he can Arcane Shift, but you can just ultimate him, and that Arcane Shift doesn't do anything. And on the other side, Nautilus is very good into Kha'Zix as well, because he needs to get onto your AD carry, like with his face, and you can dredge line him, root him, and even if he goes into stealth, if you through your ultimate before he enters the stealth, is gonna follow him all the way, and he cannot escape that easily. Now we're gonna see the last pick. The mid laner is left unless they wanna flex Karthus on the mid lane. Definitely not. Corki is blind picked. I mean, it's sometimes okay versus Kha'Zix, because he has the Valkyrie, he can just fly away, but after 6, Kha'Zix has much mobility with his ultimate, with his movement speed and stealth, and it's gonna be a bit hard for him depending on the matchup on the mid lane. Now, Just for Fun needs to pick something with crowd control. I'm actually seeing a Rise here being really good. Karthus can gank you. He's gonna maybe struggle a bit in the laning phase, but as soon as you get your Seraph's Embrace, actually Archangel Staff, you're gonna outpush Cork, you're gonna have free ganks. Or yeah, stuff like Kassadin works, because Karthus, again, he can't gank you. You have double magic damage on both mid and jungle, and Kassadin has a free scaling. The only problem I see here is you have a scaling mid laner and a scaling AD carry. On the other side, you have to play around top lane, because he's the only early game champ in your team. and they don't have much CC as well in the early to mid stages of the game. So if Just for Fun gets to mid to late game, it's gonna be a free win for them. On the other side, if Infamous gets even a tiny bit of lead, they're gonna have a really good chance of snowballing the game.
Well, yeah, they also have 2 tiers being stacked in this game, on the Corki, on the Ezreal, so mid-game power will be pretty strong. Kai'Sa with only 2 items, not really that powerful. Manamune into...
Yeah, but we have 2 tiers on the other side as well, like Kassadin and Kai'Sa.
Yeah, but Corki and Ezreal are stacking that pretty faster than Kassadin and Kai'Sa, and also Kassadin doesn't really care about the tier, he cares about getting level 11 and level 16, so that tier will give him some more mana and
I mean,
the attacking shield.
He goes to tier is because the 20% cooldown he gets, because Luden Zehu is really useless on Kassadin, and 20% cooldown with the shield of Seraph is really good on him.
Yeah, it will be hard for them to actually survive this. As you said, a lot of crowd control and nobody to actually like save anybody. Ornn ulti into Ezreal ulti into Nolus ulti into Karthus ulti. Only Corki like doesn't have to do anything there, but Corki as well in the late game. I mean, Kai'Sa, she is strong. She scales pretty good, but mostly she is strong for proccing the passive. She does have a lot of attack speed, and she procs the passive pretty fast, but until she hits the 5 auto attacks, Corki will hit 2 of them and deal more damage than Kai'Sa does with 5. So if the game lasts a little longer, and if by some chance Kassadin doesn't scale that well at that point, Corki will be stronger than Kai'Sa, but we have seen like Kassadin outscaling everybody in the mid lane. I mean, Kassadin so far, in this patch at least, and in the previous one, is the best scaling mid lane champion with that full AP Kog'Maw. So maybe now that Kog'Maw hasn't been locked in this game, Kassadin is definitely a best scaling pick in this game. Definitely they will look for the level 16 on that champion. And also Nautilus, yeah, he does have a lot of CC with the pick he has in this game, but it will be hard to catch Kassadin. I mean, he can always use the Zhonya's to dodge all the crowd control ultis, and after that nobody can CC lock him. With the Rift Walk, he can always like ulti into W, into EQ combo. Ezreal will probably be dead, and then he can always Rift Walk away and actually survive. The best thing about Mr. Freeze in this game is the fact that he has the exhaust, so every time Kai'Sa or Kassadin ult into Ezreal face, he can always use the exhaust and deny some of the damage being applied.
And the thing about Kai'Sa is, yeah, she's very good versus Ezreal in the laning phase because, yeah, she can free farm, she can get her Manamune, and she has a pretty free laning phase until the mid game, but the problem with her is she's really good into tanks and into really fat team comms like Sejuani or on the other side. But when she's playing against a Karthus and even a Corki, like you said, Corki's gonna 2-hit her in the late game, and that's why I don't like her that early in the draft. Other side, on the 4th pick, she's really good if you see that the stars have aligned for her. But this way, she's gonna need a really good early game to outscale the Corki, which is pretty much impossible. But yeah, she has a Kassadin, so that's an upside of that. Both junglers start on their blue side. They're gonna both go for the full clear probably, because mid lane is not that gankable on both sides, because no crowd control in mid lane, no crowd control in the jungle, so pretty much assassins and damage everywhere. But when the objectives are coming and Drake's Heralds, there are gonna be a lot of explosive teamfights.
Yeah, the only good thing for Infamous is that Kassadin, unlike Corki, doesn't have the Valkyrie or any possible option for the dash, besides his Summoner Flash, and after that Summoner spell is used, Chaffee with the slow cage and the red buff can maybe kill the Kassadin, although as you said, he does have the Q magic damage shield, which will help him in surviving Corki and Karthus at some point of the game, so I'm really not expecting to see Chaffee in the mid lane anytime in this game, only maybe in some Corki Kassadin 1v1s, and Chaffee is only farming in his jungle, presses the R to do some more damage and take the Dark Harvest tag. Besides that, nothing else probably. Mercenary, first time seeing him on Thresh if I'm not wrong, and it can be interesting to watch. I mean, Thresh...
Yeah, this is sad. Like, Cyrex getting 3 Mystic shots in his face while he cannot farm. I think Mercenary needs to step a bit ahead. He needs to hit those creeps. He needs to help his AD carry push. Actually, on the other side, Karthus is here while their Kha'Zix is on the top side, so they don't really have to do anything. But yeah, this is a pain to watch, even pain to play against with Ezreal. 10 CS more at the very moment, but she's gonna make up for it. under the tower, taking some creeps, but yeah, they gave a free priority lane to Ezreal, which doesn't happen that often.
Yeah, and also, I mean, they took Thresh against Nautilus, so maybe they do expect to get the counter pick on the support position, and every time you see Nautilus charging the Dredgen, you can always pre-buffer the Flay, you deny him getting the hit on the hook, and then you proc the Aftershock, which means that Nautilus Ezreal cannot burst Thresh down that easily, and I was really hoping Mercenary will do a little better job in the bot lane at that point, but okay, Mr. Freeze went for the early recall and got the Call as well as the Fairy Charm. I mean, wanted to take, didn't have enough money for Tyr obviously, but he did get the mana regen, and now Jaxus can be some problems. Chaffee will not find the auto attack to apply the slow onto Kha'Zix. One leap strike was enough for him to run away. Domas does a pretty good amount of damage against Slola, and Kassadin did win this 1v1. Slola does have the information about Jaxus being in the top side, but as Kassadin pushed him away from the jungle, Jaxus maybe could have looked for the gank. That will not happen, but Fapa manages to find the Dredgen. Syrox is ignited. Let's see if Mr. Freeze can take the kill. That will not happen, at least in this fight, but this was a pretty good setup play for Fapa. Now he wants to take down Mercenary as well. Thresh does have both of his summoners. Mr. Freeze will land the skill shots. Not enough damage for Thresh to actually die, but this was a pretty interesting play from Fapa. He used Minion Dematerializer to actually destroy the creep and then pre-buff the hook onto the minion. Nobody actually expected for the minion to die, so as well, nobody expected for that hook to actually land, and this will be surviving bot lane for Just for Fun. They didn't lose any summoners, so it is a slight victory for them. Kai'Sa recalled a little bit later than the Ezreal, so she does have the pickaxe at this moment. Domas level 5. Yeah, he wants to kill Slola, but he already used the TP, doesn't have the ignite, so killing Corki will not be that easy. He wants to cancel the recall, so Slola loses as much minions as he can. But Kai'Sa, with the pickaxe build, she will do some good amount of damage. If she went for the tier, that will be probably a level 1 damage Kai'Sa. With just more mana against Ezreal, it will not work. So with the pickaxe, more damage will be applied, but Mr. Freeze still does have the exhaust. Domas now got the level 6 as well as the Slola, but Slola does have the problem with Corki. When you hit level 6, you only get like 1 rocket, and after you use it, you have to wait for like 10 seconds to get another one. So Domas can easily win these trades with the constant refill spam. He doesn't have a lot of mana with only 1 Sapphire Crystal, but he will flash, will not take the first blood here.
I don't think this was necessary, because you already won the trade. You you won 2 trades. He doesn't have TP, he got the tier, and you really didn't have to burn that flash, because now you have to recall the hook, landed exhausted here, ignite as well, and Mr. Freed is gonna die, but Sarah is rooted under the tower, and he didn't take the second shot, and all 4 of them left.
But why didn't nobody flash here? Like, legit, 1 auto attack and Ezreal would be dead.
They're not greedy as Domas.
Domas will take the first blood here. Karthus will use the Hurricane, but there won't be enough damage for him to actually retake the kill in the mid lane. Corki, as you said, Kassadin, not really necessary for him to make the play like that in the mid lane, but Slola, even though he lost like 3 trades in a row, lost the flash, wasn't like 10% of his HP, he still wanted to fight. Mercenary now in some problems. Also, Syrox will be rooted down by Fapa. Still no enough damage for the Ezreal or the Nautilus to actually take the kills. Now Kai'Sa and Thresh have to recall. They did win those trades a minute ago, but they did not take the kill. Ezreal still didn't recall, but managed to find a good amount of healing with the potions, so they wanted to fight another time in the bot lane. Kai'Sa will recall with only 650 gold. He did cancel the recall, wants to take the wave. No enough mana gold for him to actually buy the mana item with the tier.
Yeah, that was pretty sad, I think, for him as well. He doesn't have enough for the tier now, I think.
Yeah, Sapphire Crystal and boots maybe.
Yeah, that's really sad. And on the other hand, when we're talking about sad, Corki hates his life at the moment, because he gave Kassadin the first blood, a lead he must not get as a Kassadin, and he has 700 more gold than Corki at the moment. The only upside for Corki here is that Domas didn't take that Electrocute, because you can run Electrocute on Kassadin in the melee matchups, and even maxing E versus Talon and Zed, etc. On the other side, Corki is a really good matchup for Kassadin, whichever keystone you take. So when you want to play this aggressive, next time go for Electrocute. Even if you're feeling cocky, you can go for Dark Harvest and maybe flip that mid lane on the very beginning. On the other side, yeah, Cassidy has the blue buff. He needs, I think, around 300 more gold for the whole Road of Ages, and it's gonna be 9-minute Road of Ages, and I don't think Slola and Chaffee will be able to 2v1 him, because no CC, no damage at all, because Slola actually took tier for the first item, which we don't see ever. You need the pickaxe, you need the damage.
He will make engage in the bot lane. Cyrex will take the lantern, and now Mercenary will be the one CC lot here. Fapa will take the only kill in this fight. Not really a good outcome for Infamous, since Nautilus took the kill gold, but they did find a kill in the bot lane, which, well, it is kind of a good thing for them. I mean, Corki did take the assist, Ezreal took the assist. They both were kind of lacking behind in some way. I mean, Corki, yeah, he did give the kill to Cassidy. He did lose some farm in the mid lane. Ezreal, not that much, but still, with those lost trades against Kai'Sa and the Thresh, he wanted to actually find something in that bot lane besides like having more farm and like getting more stacks on that Khal down. So yeah, this assist can work okay for them. I mean, the only guy that died is Thresh. Kai'Sa doesn't have that much of a wave clear, so he will probably either get dived or will be forced to recall or step away from the turret. So Nautilus with Demolish and Ezreal W out attack combo, he can take down at least 1 or 2 plates, get some bonus gold from that kill, and maybe if Karthus is close to the bot lane, they can go and start Drake as well. Kha'Zix at this point in the game not really that strong. Corki is already on the bot side, as well as Nautilus and Ezreal, and nobody actually took damage because both Kai'Sa and Thresh just wanted to run away. So no damage was done against the Infamous bot side. So maybe they can rush the first Drake and eventually set it up for the second one in the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, and we actually saw Kassadin in the tree bush, so maybe he wants a counter gank or something, but like you said, everyone on the Infamous side has full HP, he has maybe a little cooldowns, but yeah, he's right there, and that was the bad play. He needed to stay mid, he needed to maybe take one plate, because like I said, he has enough money for Road of Ages at this moment. He took the blue buff, he took a couple of waves, and the only thing he needs to do right now is recall, but Jenxes pops his ultimate, but Chaffee, yeah, he won't fall for it, and that's just an ultimate wasted. On the other side, Fapa and Mr. Freeze are rotating towards mid, maybe, like you said, they want to take the dragon, and there's a flash gradually. What just happened? But yeah, Kha'Zix is pretty much dead here, and Dombas goes in 1v3, he's gonna die as well.
That was a really optimistic play from the Cassidy. I mean, he does have only a Blessing Wand as well as the Dark Seal to give him bonus AP, and he wanted to take the fight 1 against 4. Kha'Zix, yeah, the leap strike animation was cancelled and actually was pretty bugged by the dragon. Infamous will take the first dragon of the game. I mean, the Ocean Drake, not really something that is completely game changing. Some good amount of healing will be applied onto their players. Welcome. So far does have the Bilgewater Cutlass only, waiting for that Blade of Ruin King, which is a pretty a good item against the Ornn. After that he will probably go for the Black Cleaver, and after that Blind Boy will probably never win 1v1s against the Renekton. Welcome was the guy for Just for Fun that actually had some highlights plays, some 1v2s won, although he was playing set in that game, but still someone that can actually carry the game, and he does play the Renekton, so he does have the chances at that. But the problem is that he has to kill Gargoyle Stoneplate Nautilus, pretty tanky Ornn, Corki and Ezreal, who do have a lot of escape tool against the Renekton, and Traffic, who like really doesn't care if he dies. He still has the passive to spam all of his skills. So Welcome. Not really sure how that Renekton will work in the late game, if he will be able to actually get some picks, or maybe he will just go on the side lane and try to win the game without being interrupted by the enemy team. So far, if we look at the CS, Corki 30 minions behind against Domas, and totally expected. I mean, Cassidy, yeah, he did take that kill. He does have the Road of Ages completed at the 10th minute, so between 20-21 minute mark of the game, he will have the fully stacked Road of Ages, and now I'm expecting for him to go for the tier, get some more mana, and after that Cassidy will scale pretty good. He already is level 9, so level 11 is pretty close for him. Jaxus did take the first Herald of the game, but now Infamous have 3 people in the top lane, which means that using Herald will probably not finish that, end up that with that good. Welcome wants to find the engage, and this will be a TP coming in from Corki, as well as Dior. Kaisa will stay in the bot lane, but Jackson did take the kill on the Chaffee. A call of the Forge God will be used, but will not hit the Renekton. Mercenary again in some problems with this Thresh, will flash away, as well as this Renekton. Welcome will probably survive. Not a single ward actually saw him, and he's teleporting away.
Nice.
Honestly, he did have enough time to try and recall, but
Correct.
it was...
It's not worth the risk.
Yeah, Slow is still looking for him, so maybe the TP is a good solution. If he wanted to recall, the Q and the ultis from Slola would actually cancel the recall, and that Welcome would probably die. He didn't have enough HP to actually survive the poke from Corki, so TP being used is kind of a good move. Blind Boy also used a TP to actually join the fight, so no top laner will have the advantage in that summoner spell. And now when Welcome has the Blade of the Ruined King as well as the long sword, it will be kind of harder for Blind Boy to win those 1v1s in the side lane. So far, Ezreal is the one being on the side lane. Similar situation was in the previous fight when Kaisa was fighting with Ornn. Not a single way for Cyrex to actually cancel that TP from Blind Boy, and that's why Ornn came to the fight and Kaisa didn't participate. Tier is completed for the Just for Fun AD carries, so Tier is going to start stacking, but it will take a lot of time for Cyrex to actually get the Muramana. Anyways, this Herald is used in a perfect position at the perfect time. They will take the first turret bonus, and some of those gold will go into Kaisa's hands, which is pretty good, taking into consideration that so far she does lack in CS, doesn't have the assist taken from the bot lane fights. So a little bit more gold for Cyrex is not that bad for him. He did complete the Manamune, so now tier stacking will be a little bit easier, but will definitely take a lot of time.
Yeah, remember when I said that Corki hates his life? Now everyone in Team Influence hates their lives, because Ezreal was the only player that was ahead in this game. Maybe even Karthus, we can say that he's still ahead of Jenksas because he has that level advantage, he has some camps advantage, but Ezreal was the one with the real lead. He had the tier, he had the Shin, he was really stronger than Kaisa, but this first to it nullifies everything that happened in the early game, because Kaisa got her Manamune. She's gonna start stacking, she doesn't have to force absolutely anything, because she has Cassidy in her team, she has a side laner in her team that's Renekton, and I'm really sad that Infamous didn't 3-man the Renekton when they had the chance, because the only thing he's gonna do in this game is a split push versus own, because that's the only thing he can do. He's not very efficient in team fights, especially versus the champions that Infamous has, because Corki has self-peel, Ezreal has self-peel with the Arcane Shift, with Valkyrie, and Renekton doesn't have really that much chance to go onto them. So if you stomp him early game, he can't sidelane versus zone. On the other hand, package is used, and Welcome is probably not gonna die. He succeeded to survive it, and on the other hand, the team fight has started, and Jenksas is the first one to fall, and now the chase is on.
Yeah, they will knock up the Kassadin as well. He does have the Rift Walk, but a lot of CC was being used in the Kassadin, so no way for him to ulti away. Karthus, yeah, he did die, but as already mentioned, Chaffee doesn't care if he dies. Yep. He still has the passive, he still has the ability to use the Requiem, and he did a pretty good amount of damage. Not enough for Welcome to die, but Slola was a little bit unlucky. He did a pretty good amount of damage against the Renekton, and at the time when he needed a big rocket auto attack to take the kill, he got a small one, so he did only like a half of the damage, so Welcome did manage to survive. Kassadin did die as well as the Kha'Zix, if I'm not wrong, but they still took the Drake, they took the kill, so yeah, it kinda is good for them. Domus wants to chase Mr. Freeze down. He now is a level 11 Kassadin, but will not go under the turret. I was really expecting Domus to actually try to dive, but the smart choice for him not to do that, because Mr. Freeze did have exhaust available, so diving the Ezreal would probably end up in Mr. Freeze getting the solo kill instead of the Kassadin. Domus did get the Lost Chapter after the recall, after the death, to be more precise, but Archangels will be completed pretty soon, and after that Kassadin will be pretty nasty. He's level 11 so far, and yeah, that level 2 ultimate is way more stronger than this level 6 one, so he already is a threat to the enemy team, but on level 16 he will be a 1v9 machine. Slola still didn't finish the Trinity Force, and That's why Corki doesn't really do that much damage against a certain enemies. Domas will force Lola to use the Valkyrie. Now he can Rift walk away. Why is Lola doing this to himself? He does have the flash, but Domas can use another Rift walk here to take the kill. Use the auto attack!
No, bye, Domas. Yeah, it's a 1-for-1 on the bot lane. Both mid
of them
laners
are like extreme trolling, and I'm totally tilted right now.
Yeah, I mean, he reset his auto like 2 to 3 times and just got tower shotted, and
but he does have like the auto attack W auto attack reset.
Yeah,
like he could have hit like 2 or 3 times that full combo and slowly would die. Yeah, he did force his flash. He forced him to use the Valkyrie. He did kill him, but it's in the end of the day, it's a kill for kill. Corki, although he did only find another dagger in his build, Cassidy didn't find anything, so Cassidy also doesn't have the boots. Rod of Ages, lost chapter tier, completed Archangel, and
that's why.
Yeah, no he was saving.
If he had those tier 1 boots here, he would definitely kill him without dying, because you saw how he needed like 2 inches to get onto him, and he couldn't do it. On the other side, Slowly is here, but yeah, Trash is gonna protect his AD carry with no punishment on the other side. Now Domas is going mid. This is a bit of a mistake, because you always want your Cassidy to go on the side lane unless you want to force the tower on bot lane and just defend on the mid lane. Yeah, that's what they're gonna do. Kha'Zix is on the bot lane as well. Now they're gonna recall, probably send Cassidy to the bot lane since he doesn't have TP, and Drake is gonna spawn in 1:30 as well as Baron Nashor. The timers are exactly the same. On the other side, I don't think Infamous can rush the Baron. Yeah, they definitely can. Maybe Kartus is... Yeah, he's doing much damage, but Corki and Ezreal are still not there with their items, so then Drake is gonna be the next objective. As we see, we're gonna have the Cloud Soul if we even get to it. The Cloud Soul is definitely gonna be good on the blue team. Actually, even on the red team, like Cassidy with Cloud Soul, he's gonna get so much movement speed, even with the cooldown on his ultimate, with 40% cooldown on level 11. He has like 2.5 seconds on his ultimate. Like level 16 with Cloud Jakes, he's not gonna have a cooldown on that spell. And yeah, he's flanking Slola. Slola doesn't have anywhere to run. He's gonna go under the tower, but Janxas is just gonna wait for him in the triple.
Yeah, Janxas waits for the W. He will get the assist. Yeah, a good jungler. He got the assist. Some gold for him for participating, but the solo kill will go into Cassidy's hands. Yeah, 9 stacks on the Road of Ages. Domas is pretty strong so far, and he does have a 40 CS lead against the Corki. 139 CS in 20th minute mark. I mean, my Corki looks better than this.
Yeah, even against I mean, Cassidy, we can say it's a bad matchup for Corki because he has 80% magic damage. Cassidy's passive says he takes reduced magic damage from every source, and plus he has a magic damage shield. But on the other side, Corki is a range champ. He doesn't have to fight him before 6, and we saw those trades. We saw everything that he did in the laning phase wrong. That's why he's so behind now. I mean, if he stayed 0-0-0 at this point, he would have his Trinity Force, nearly stacked Munamana, and he would have a chance. Now TPs are here, Drake fight has started.
Yeah, double TP from Infamous, and one is coming from the Renekton, but the Drake has already been taken by Just For Fun. Domas and Jax did do a pretty good amount of damage onto the Drake. Lola finds the package on the Mercenary. He did proc the Aftershock, but he will die. Anyways, Herald did do a pretty good amount of damage to that tier 2 turret in the mid lane. So Corki managed to find another one for Infamous team. They now have only 2 taken down turrets in this game, and both of them will be in the mid lane. Fapa wants to start the Baron, and the whole Infamous team, Blind Boy...
Yeah, that's not gonna work.
Yeah, this will definitely not work. I mean, first, Ezreal and Corki do not have enough damage for this Baron to actually be clear pretty fast, and now Janxas can face check this. Will he try to actually... First, why did he go into five-man squad and now flashes away? This can be the Baron for the Infamous side, and Kha'Zix will steal it away, but that's a Cassidy with the Rift Walk still in the Baron pit. Domas will take a triple kill here. Maybe a Quadra on the Blind Boy sees this, or doesn't have any magic resist. Kha'Zix will steal the Quadra, but a massive play for Domas. Baron still with the ace for Just For Fun, and they have a 4 remaining people with the Baron buff.
Okay, Michko, do you know what's the only thing Team Infamous can do at this point?
FF?
/FF, of course! They can't stop this Cassidy now. I mean, they had a chance before this Baron, but look at this. Corki had his Trinity Force in the base. Why start the Nasher? Why just go and get the item? Wait for Ezreal's Muramana, because that's the time when you spike. As we were saying before the game, Cassidy and Kai'Sa need a bit more time to stack it, and Corki just got his on the Baron. If he backed for the Trinity Force and maybe then got a pick and started the Nasher, we saw their Nasher was really, really quick. I didn't expect that much damage, but
Fun fact, Corki got the tier stack before Ezreal.
But because he bought the tier instead of a pickaxe in the early game.
And Ezreal went for the Call Boots combo.
He cheat recalled, he got the Call, he got the Fairy Charm for some laning pressure, but now it's all over. Cassidy is level 15, he's 2 levels ahead of Slovala, and I mean, when he backs, he's gonna go for Zhonya's or a Lich Bane. Both of them are really, really good. I mean, Lich Bane if you're cocky, if you wanna really one-shot them, and Zhonya for the teamfights. Hook is here like the Ignite. Mr. Freeze has to be careful.
Why did Oren actually use his ultimate? He wants to stun Jaxus with the knockup, and now let's see what they can do. They will do enough damage on Slowa to be dead, and now Cyrex did already use his Kai'Sa ultimate. They can actually try and focus down Chaffee, but the Nodus will be the one getting Hook here from the Mercenary. Now here comes the TP from Domas, wants to take some more kills on the Cassidy, and this will be the double for the Just for Fun mid laner, but a massive Requiem comes from Chaffee. He will take the triple kill here. I mean, 5-4 Karthus is a good thing, but that's a complete
not good enough.
ace team from Infamous, and Just for Fun, they do have 2 guys with the Baron buff, with a huge minion wave. This will be only the mid lane inhibitor, maybe not even that. I mean, Mr. Freeze is already respawned, slowly is coming in 3 seconds, but with the attack speed on the Renekton and the Cassidy.
Run.
Well, welcome, yeah.
Cassidy,
Domas, he could have stayed. I mean, use a few more auto attacks. With the W auto attack reset, the inhibitor can be taken down pretty quickly, and then you use Rift Walk to run away. Not really sure why Domas got that scared, but okay.
It's a 700 gold bounty.
He also had the Zhonyas, so maybe there was a good chance for him to actually escape there, but with the open inhibitor, next time Just for Fun wins the fight, they will take it down in the mid lane, maybe rotate to top or bot to take some other turrets, but so far Cassidy waiting for the level 16, which will come pretty fast, and that will be the problem for Infamous. Corki still didn't complete the boots, and this no magic mantle tells me that he will go for the Mercury Threads, which is kind of a problem for him. He will have like legit 0 magic pen. Maybe that will force him to go for the Void Staff, or maybe he's literally late game, but still will not do much.
Because if he wanted the Mercs, he needed to get them early on, because you can deny the Cassidy some damage, you can deny the Trash CC, but right now it doesn't do anything. Like, even if you had what's the name, the item that existed, that doesn't exist anymore.
Force of Nature?
Force of Nature. Yeah, even if he had Force of Nature now, he wouldn't be able to stop the Cassidy, because Domas is level 16. Look at this. He just Rift Fox everywhere whenever he wants. He can even go inside them with the Zhonyas and just escape whenever he wants. He just wanted the red buff though. He didn't take it, but as we know, the Drake is gonna spawn in 15 seconds. And if JFF take this one, they don't even need the soul. They have 2 Cloud Drakes, a really, really fat Cassidy that needs like, what, 1,000 gold to his 4th item, and that's gonna be Lich Bane. Yeah, he just Rift Walking.
Scary, honestly.
He's saying, come to me, I'm gonna one-shot every single one of you. And I mean, I have no idea how Infamous is gonna break out with this one.
Yeah, let's see what they can do. Mr. Freeze will use the True Shot Barrage, definitely not fast enough. It will be smited down before the Azure ult actually hit the Drake, so Just for Fun, they got some more CDR on the ult. So Cassidy so far is playing Earth game, honestly. Kai'Sa, still no completed tier for her, but Nash's Tooth as well completed at this moment. So now he does have the Evolved E, so he can use
NW.
Yeah, and W as well, but wow, they still didn't find Kha'Zix here. He will use the ulti, and he will solo kill the Cassidy, Karthus, pardon me. Now Blind Boy will hit the knockup onto Jaxus. Domas does have the Zhonya's. Jaxus wants to run away. Domas will probably be shot down here, but he wants to take the kill against Mr. Freeze. Does have enough mana to use one more Rift Walk, and now here comes the Lantern to save his life. Jaxus will find a way to recall away. Nobody actually tried to kill the Kha'Zix. Everybody focused on the Cassidy and the 700 100 gold bounty, and in the meantime, Welcome actually doesn't really care about anything on the map. He wants to go top lane, he wants to take down the inhibitor with the Blade of the Ruin King. He does have a pretty good amount of attack speed to actually take those down pretty fast. Domas TP came back with the Cassidy. He actually didn't recall. He only went back, and now Syrax wants to take Fappa down. He does have a pretty good amount of damage. The Q will not do enough for Fappa to die. No evolved Q on the Kai'Sa without the AD. Cyrex's Q doesn't really do that much damage, and so far Slola did manage to find one kill, no second one, but in the top lane Welcome wants to fight with Blindboy. Blindboy doesn't have the grievous wound, so Renekton is healing pretty well. Jensen's found the kill on Slola. Welcome is still alive, and Fappa will not kill him. Blindboy died, Nautilus doesn't do damage in the meantime. Jensen's got the double kill, and now just for fun, this looked like a pretty good fight for Infamous. They took some kills, got some shot on golds, but this looks like just for fun taking an inhibitor on the top lane. They will not take the one in the mid, but they can recall, go for the Baron, and maybe even win the game with that. Mid inhib is open, bot lane. Well, they do have 2 turrets remaining in that side of the map, but with the Renekton or the Kassadin in the bot side with the Baron buff, that will be taken down pretty quickly. Kai'Sa going for the Zhonya's, or maybe only stoppers because he doesn't have enough gold for something better, but...
Yeah, it's gonna be the last teamfight, I guess. If they win the next teamfight, it's the last one.
Yeah, still he does a pretty fair amount of damage. I'm not really a guy that likes AP Kai'Sa build, but he does play against Corki and Karthus. So yeah, that Zhonya's and Vashni's Veil are necessary for him to actually take the kills. Domas wants to fight against 3 of them alone. He will not be exhausted. Mr. Freeze does have the summoner spell on the cooldown. He will find the Rift Walk onto Chaffee. Finds also the shield as well as the Zhonya's. Will Rift Walk away, but Blindboy has been killed in the enemy backline. And now Slola will probably be killed by the Cassidy. He does have the Hex Drinker as the 3rd item, and this will be the double for Domas. Rickon will not kill this Cassidy yet. Fappa,
look at him!
He killed him 1v1. That's a no for this Nautilus. He will hook only the Kazakhs, which means Domas can secure the ace for just for fun, and they will finish this day as 5-2 team on the table. They will secure definitely the 2nd spot on the table. They want to take the kill against Mr. Freeze, but he will not respawn before he next dies.
And the team that was a favorite in this match got the victory. We saw it here that the mid lane can make a lot of difference. Guys, we saw here a really fast game, but it took some time for that Cassidy to come alive and online. And when he got that level 16, was that the game?
Yeah, that was it. When Cassidy gets 16 and you don't have any compensation for it, that's game over. I mean, if you wanna give him 16, you need to have like Soul Point, you need to have Nasher, you need to have minimum 2 inhibitors if you wanna win the game. But you were stomped on pretty much every lane, and after that, Cassidy just got 3 kills absolutely everywhere. And when teamfight started, we just saw him. Team Infamous didn't have a way to deal with him. Even if he doesn't do that much damage, they're so scared that he's gonna Rift Walk. They don't know if is he gonna Rift Walk into them, is he gonna Rift Walk out, is he gonna Zonias, is he gonna one-shot them. Yep. They don't know anything because the champ is so strong. And not even that, the stars aligned for Castan. They had a Cloud Soul on the board and they took 2 of them, and we saw in the last, that wasn't even a team fight, that was a rundown for Castan. He was like on the marathon and was just like Rift Walk here, Rift Walk there, and I'm gonna get to their base before them.
Okay, explain it to me, like, what happens with Cassidy at level 16? He gets enough cooldown reduction to use his ultimate whenever he wants.
Every single second.
Yeah, I mean, on level 11, when he has 40% cooldown, his Rift Walk has around 2.5 cooldown. On level 16, that gets lowered to around 1.5, even maybe lower. I don't know the exact numbers, but 1 second cooldown on an ultimate is just insane.
And also every single time he uses the auto attack with the W, he gets a refund on the mana, so he can use his ulti again.
Oh yeah, that's even more exciting, because when you have full build and you use W on a champion, do you know how much mana you get? You get 2,000 mana. 2,000.
So you never get out of your mana.
Never.
Yeah, you never like lose a complete amount of mana. And yeah, his Rift Walk actually costs more mana every single time he uses it. So that's
and caps at 800.
That's why he got the mana refund on the W, but it's busted. If you get like 2,000 mana, you can use your ulti 3 times, which is kind of busted. But honestly, this Kassadin actually had a free game. He killed Slola 1v1 on level 6, which like never should happen. And also with this amount of healing on Kassadin, we see that he has Relentless Hunter and Taste of Blood. Yeah. He started the fight 1-1 against Nautilus with like 5% HP, and he was on 50% HP with only 1 full combo. Yeah. Honestly, this game was pretty free for just for fun. Yeah, Kassadin completely stomped the game. In the mid lane, Slola, honestly, this Corki was a disaster, honestly. Yeah. He did find a good build for him with the Trinity Force, with the Muramana and the Sorcerer Shoes, but
it was too late.
He gave like 2 or 3 kills for the Kassadin. The play on the Baron was kind of good. I mean, it was sneaky, but the only guy that actually revealed the whole plan was Ornn, that actually like walked next to Kha'Zix and directly into the Baron pit, and after that you take Kha'Zix's ulti, you take his Lip Strike, you take his flash, so he doesn't have any single chance
and
to
you still lose the Baron.
Smite the Karthus, and you lose a smite fight against the Kassadin full combo. So a lot of mistakes from Infamous, and definitely a pretty good win for Just for Fun.
Glisho, how did you what do you think about Just for Fun now, watching them play here against Team Infamous? What kind of team do you think they are? Can they win against top tier teams here in the Baltic Masters?
Well, when they draft like this, they need to play a bit more around their top lane, because okay, Renekton wasn't really in the spotlight this game, but he was a very, very big factor, because he was always on the side and he was always making pressure. And like we talked about it, he was never in a team fight because he can't do much in time. But when we saw the team fight happen, like Domas is 1v9, and on the other side of the map, Renekton is just taking your towers, giving free gold to his team. And maybe if Kha'Zix went to the top lane like one time, gave him 1 kill, he would really faster stomp the game. But even like this, Kassadin just got fed and they didn't have much to worry about. But versus like 5 kings and maybe a better team, they're gonna need to play a bit more macro game than this one.
In the Michko now, Just for Fun, they're going up on the scoreboard. There are only 5 kings up on the first place. And do you think they could potentially take down the 5 kings?
Well, I don't really think so. If I'm not wrong, they still have to play 5 kings. Yeah. So yeah, there is a possibility for them to try to catch up to the first place, but they still lack 2 wins. So they have to win in the duel against 5 kings, and then they have to hope for 5 kings to lose another match so they can play the tiebreaker for the first place. Honestly,
it's gonna be hard.
5 kings do have to play like 4 games more, and 3 of those games will be against the bottom tier teams. So I'm not really sure if that will happen.
We'll go ahead and ask Domas how he feels. He was the one wielding with that Kassadin. He was the one making the plays. Domas, hello from the studio and congrats on your victory.
Hello, thank you guys.
How do you feel? You were an absolute monster here in the Summoner's Rift. Tell us what is behind those plays. Was it that you got comfortable at some point of the game, or from the start you knew that you were gonna play like that?
Well, honestly, I just saw that Kassadin was very good pick here, and I was really comfortable in this matchup, and I think it's pretty easy, and I just decided to play aggressively and just permanently try to outplay my opponents.
And the laning phase seemed to be a deciding factor, nonetheless. But how did you feel playing against Corky? You said that that's the matchup that you like, but do you think that he made a lot of mistakes, or you just outplayed him?
Well, I think he failed with wave management, which led me to get to level 6 easily. And also I had a good back, so I could solo kill him because well, his base times were pretty off, so I just had a free HP lead, and that led to the kills. So yeah, it was pretty good.
And from your performance today, we saw that you were contesting those, that playoff and slot for the play-ins at EU Masters. Do you think you can take down the 5 Kings?
Well, I think we can take down them. It really depends on the draft, but it's not up to us now if we can manage to get the first place. But yeah, I think that we definitely can take them. Yeah.
Thomas, thanks for the interview, and good luck in the upcoming matches.
Thank you.
Yeah, he was an absolute monster here. I was watching the game, and now that you explained it to me how it works, okay, that makes a lot of sense. You don't want that casting to go to level 16, but because when he does, the game is over.
Yeah, pretty much, and it's just like you said, in laning phase, Corky had really bad recalls, really bad wave management. I mean, even Thomas made a mistake when he tried to dive him when it wasn't necessary, but for some reason Corky still stayed in the lane and tried to push the wave, and that was just game over.
Yeah. This was, ladies and gentlemen, our first game. The favorite here in this match took the victory. We'll see if this continues in our next one. We're going to see 5 Kings and Estonian Vipers. Can Estonian Vipers take down the Kings? Stay tuned. We're going to take a short break. And welcome back, round 7 of Baltic Masters. We're gonna head into our next game of tonight. It's gonna be our second game. We're gonna see 5 Kings, team that's leading the scoreboard with 0 losses against Estonian Vipers. We'll see how Vipers can handle the Kings. But before the match, we're gonna talk about what can we expect here, of course. Can Estonian Vipers take down the Kings? That is the right question here.
Yeah, I mean, it's really gonna depend on the draft. Like the mid laner of the Just for Fun said, when they're gonna have a match against the 5 Kings, a lot of that match is depending on the draft, because we saw the Evelyn pick, we saw the Veigar pick, and those picks aren't really bannable picks because you can play around them. Evelyn is like, to me, is like a vision check for the team, because before 6 she can't gank, and you can pretty much destroy her in the early game, but after 6, control wards are much more useful than against any other type of jungler. So if you have a really good vision and a really consistent macro gameplay, Evelyn shouldn't be a problem for you.
Well, we'll see if they decide for that Evelyn again. We saw it played a couple of times, I think 2 times or 3 times, right? 2 times, and it was a complete stomp for the team that had Evelyn. We're gonna go ahead into the lineups of our second match. We're gonna see who is on the side of 5 Kings and who is gonna be playing on the side of Estonian Vipers. 5 Kings, it's Onius, Focus, Tibor, Lakenter, and Paterek. And on the side of Estonian Vipers, it's Kunings, Joft, Jabuticaba, Ruff, and Saflex. Michko, what are for the Vipers, where are the holes that they can take from, or try to find them? On what lane can they try to make a difference?
Well, honestly, in every lane in a way. Jabuticaba played a pretty good aggressive pick, so maybe if he goes for the Syndra, for the Echo, something like that, he can maybe have a chance at winning the lane. But also Tibor is playing pretty clean. That Veigar and Syndra as well looked pretty good against the Fizz. In the bot lane, Ruff, we saw pretty good Azrael from him, so maybe if he gets the Azrael pick, it's definitely his comfort pick, since he's played like 3 or 4 games out of 6. And also Kuningas in the top lane, he played a pretty well Shen, so maybe go for the Shen, try to make a pretty good engages with the Flash Stone combo, use the Stand United for the global pressure, and maybe you can have a chance.
Yeah, I think you just hinted them how they should play. Guys, okay, to which team does your vote go? Okay. Are we going for the favorites here, or are we going for the unfavored team?
Well, since they have like 0 defeats, I must say 5 Kings is gonna take this match, because if the other teams couldn't manage to win versus, like I said, Evelyn pick, because it's really a vision check, and if you don't have a really great vision, you're not gonna win against that champion, and if you don't have a really great vision, you're not gonna win the game at all. So 5 Kings is gonna take this one.
Well, how he voted in the first game, I was expecting something like, if you want to take down the king, you want to murder him and poison him, you can poison him with the Vipers, so
that's
go
good.
Vipers, but
no.
I was disappointed now, so
me too, honestly.
5 Kings 2-0 here.
2-0, 5 Kings. Okay, let's go and see how you voted on our Instagram profile, and it's 64% for 5 Kings, and it's
exactly the same number as the previous game.
It's the same number. It's the same number.
Yeah.
64 for 5 Kings and 36 for Estonian Vipers. Well, since 5 Kings are the only team that don't have a lose here, it's a lot for Estonian Vipers. I thought this is going to be like 80-90% for 5 Kings, because you're going to vote usually for the team that's winning here, and you want to vote for the winners, but it seems Estonian Vipers have their audience. Ladies and gentlemen, this was our short introduction for our second game. We're going to see if 5 Kings can stay on the top, or have Vipers prepared their poison. Stay tuned, we're going into the Champion Select.
can feel them do well. I can feel them. I can feel them. I can feel them. I can feel them pull me down.
Well, we got the same numbers in the Instagram vote. As Strahinja as Minja said, it is kind of a surprise since we do have a undefeated team on the one side, but on the other side we do have a team that actually has a 3-3 score instead of a last place on the table team. So maybe the numbers can kind of still match. But okay, I mean, 5 Kings undefeated so far, and actually nobody had a decent chance for to actually win against them. So I'm not really sure how much Vipers can do here. They do have some comfort picks that actually worked against some teams, so maybe if they get those picks again, they can actually look for a win.
Of course, but I don't really think they shouldn't allow 5 Kings to get their comfort picks. Like, I'm always gonna talk about that Evelyn and Veigar because those picks aren't that usual. You don't see them all the time, but if some players are really comfortable on them, why shouldn't we pick them?
Yeah, the problem is that they usually don't go for the Evelyn as an option for the jungle pick. Instead, they get a Graves Band and some other aggressive jungle picks, and then when nothing is open, they go for the Evelyn. So now when Graves and Kha'Zix are pretty good picks in the jungle,
yeah,
and the Karthus as well, kind of, although this is 10-14, so Karthus is not that big of a laner, so maybe in the jungle he can work pretty well, and that's why maybe 5 Kings will again go for the Evelyn. If Estonian Vipers ban the Graves. So far Syndra will be banned. I'm expecting maybe to see the Veigar because, as already said, Tibor has played only Syndra and Veigar in the mid lane so far, so maybe ban the Syndra, ban the Veigar and look for something else, or maybe they have a aggressive mid lane pick already prepared to fight against the Veigar, so that cannot that can be expected from the 5 Kings. They will go for the Karthus, so I kind of predicted that. And as I said, Graves banned, so go for the Karthus or the Evelyn, and now they can maybe take some aggressive picks in the jungle and in the mid lane. This Shen, I talked about it in the pre-game analysis. It's a pretty good pick for Kuningas, and we will have to see how it works out. Karma,
I don't really like it because Karma is a 3-way flex, like I talked about, and Shen can be flexed as well to top and support, and
it's a 100% top lane.
Well, yeah, but the enemy doesn't know. Maybe they do.
Well, with the Poppy, I'm pretty sure they do know.
Yeah, right. Of course they do right now, and Rakan is pretty much blind pick because, like I said, Karma can be flexed, but they just they just picked 2 flex champions and said, okay, they're not flexes, we're gonna take Oriana. Now you know where everyone is gonna go. I mean, it's a pretty solid team comp because look at their mobility, look at their shields. If Karma and Oriana shield the same target, it's gonna be huge. Now, the only thing they need is a really strong hyper carry, but I really do think they need to leave it for the last pick, because if you take a hyper carry like Jinx or Aphelios is banned, like Jinx here, you're pretty much gonna get counter picked. And really weird thing for me is that 5 Kings banned that Ezreal. Now Kha'Zix is taken away as well. I mean, you have Poppy, you have Rakan, those champs are really good into Kha'Zix, on my opinion, and now Vipers need to take that jungler and leave the last pick for their AD carry. Hecarim, I like it. I really like it here, because Karma and Oriana give him the shield, give him the movement speed buff, and now take Zilean AD carry. Play 2 mages, really, play 2 mages bot lane and go all in with Hecarim.
Honestly, the only thing that so far... Ooh, Evelyn, however, means that Karthus will go in the mid lane.
Or
so
AD carry.
Or AD carry, yeah. But also, I'm not really sure why go for the Oriana that early, because you know Tibor wants to play either the Syndra or the Veigar. So now Veigar is open, but with the Karthus and the Evelyn, that's a pretty lot of...
It's locked. Yeah, it's locked. They need an...
Yeah, Evelyn is locked as well as the Karthus, so they need some physical damage, and Kiana is a pretty good option. I mean, against Oriana, she can work pretty well. You use the bush to go into stealth. Oriana, yeah, her ball with the command dissonance and command shockwave can damage Kiana in the stealth, but as long as she's in the stealth, only the crowd control and the damage will apply. She will not be revealed, so nobody else can actually attack the 5 Kings mid laner. Although I do like the Kiana, this is something new from Tibor, and also we will see Lakinter playing that Karthus in the bot lane. And now what they have
I really
to
want
do...
to see the Zilean. I really want to see it, because you're playing against the Karthus bot lane. None of the AD carriers can parry his push in the laning phase. On the other side with Zilean, you have a pretty nice team comp. Of course, you're lacking a bit of AD in the early stages of the game, but when Hecarim gets his items, it won't really matter that much, because the enemy team doesn't have an AD carry for themselves as well. So any mage here is really good. On the other side, any AD carry is really bad, because he can't parry the Karthus, he can't play in the laning phase against him. And I really want to see how this Ashe is gonna turn out, because after 6, 1 engage from Rakan, 1 Evelyn gank, and they're gonna have no chance of escaping their deaths.
Honestly, I definitely don't like the Ashe here. I mean, to be fair, as you said, every single mage can destroy Karthus in the lane. Go for the Xerath, go for the Vel'Koz, go for something that has a lot of range, a lot of wave clear, and you can kind of try to do something same as Karthus does, but Ashe... I mean, she's good for the engaging. I mean, you have Shen for the taunts, you have Hecarim with the ulti, you have the command shockwave, and so you want the Chatter Crystal Arrow to make those picks, but at level 6, or at any point of the game after level 6, you have Karthus ulti that you cannot dodge, you have Kiana, which will assassin you every single time, you're playing against Evelyn, who will also assassin you every single time, Rakan and Poppy, crowd control lock, it will be pretty hard for Ashe.
Poppy is there just to be there, like, she has 3000 health, she's just standing there and say, come at me, bro. Just come.
She was there, like, legit, she's insta-locked after Shen, so she's there to, like, deny the taunt and if I'm... Yeah, they do not have any single engage that actually is stopped by the Poppy W, so only Shen taunts can be stopped by the Poppy zone. Hecarim ulti makes him unstoppable, so Poppy's W cannot impact on Hecarim's engage, and also Enchanted Crystal Arrow, Karma Qs, Oriana, nothing that Poppy can use against them. So yeah, I mean, that Shen was a pretty good bait for Poppy, but also Poppy, she can be pretty strong in the late game, although Ashe with the Blade Ruin King build and the Runes Hurricane Infinity Edge, she can also kill the tanks pretty easily, so maybe Poppy will have a hard time in the late game, we'll see about that, but definitely if Ashe manages to find 3 or 4 items in the game, not even Poppy will be tanky enough.
Yeah, and the interaction I'm really curious about, I don't know if it's still in the game, but Hecarim and Poppy, when Poppy turns on her zone with her W, when Hecarim is on her, he's gonna be interrupted. Actually, that was a couple of years ago. He would be interrupted, but he would still do damage to Poppy. So he would only take the damage and maybe proc her aftershock. But yeah, Poppy has grabs, so that would
maybe do damage, fear her, but will not be able to use the skills for like.
No, not ultimate, not only E.
On E.
Yeah,
that's a mini jump. That is a mini jump.
Yeah, but still, it does interrupt it, but it doesn't because you take the damage. It knocks him up, he takes the damage, but you take the damage as well. So it's a really fun interaction. And are we gonna see it late invade? Yeah,
it was worth it. So they will back off, but they want to still keep doing this focus.
Yeah,
with
it's
the Evelyn. Yeah, with the Evelyn, with the talisman, she wants to start with the Raptor, so she can heal up pretty easily, get to level 2, and then go for the red buff. But it will be taken away from Yoft now. From Yoft. His only job so far with this Hecarim is rotate instantly to his red, take the second buff, and then go for the blue. So Focus loses all the buffs in the game, and as we see, Hecarim is immediately going there. Focus wants to take the blue buff, so there will be no counter jungling from this Evelyn. I mean, it's not that big of a deal, honestly, because Evelyn is a champion that legit doesn't gank before level 6, so Focus will only kind of lack XP, and he will get the level 6 a few minutes later, but doesn't really impact the game that much. On the other hand, Hecarim with the Ghost and the chargeback, every single target can be an easy target. We'll see where the ganks will happen. Honestly, in the mid lane, if Tibor doesn't have the bush effect, he will not be able to go into stealth, which means that Hecarim can knock him back, and after that Tibor's only way of escaping is using the flash. He does have the flash ignite, so no barrier heal or something like that to survive the Hecarim, and with the Yoft having the Ghost and the red buff as well.
No, don't gank.
Both
Don't
team
just AFK farm. You don't need to gank. Like, you don't have CC on bot lane.
Honestly, level 6 Hecarim, ult on Karthus with pre-buff TE, that's dead Karthus.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna die. Though flash on the mid lane, Jabuticaba is definitely gonna die here. He does
exhaust.
Phase rush. Oh, he escaped, but Hecarim's on the other side. It's gonna be a 2v2.
Tibo wants to look for the root, but now here comes Patarek with the Rakan. Can he flash W on Jabuticaba? Definitely not, but Yoft will be the knocked up target here. He will be exhausted. The Ghost is proc. He is being healed, and that will be the first blood for the Hecarim. Finds the bonus movement speed. Lucky there is some problems as well, and Sufflex will take the second kill for Estonian Vipers. Yoft now can go back to the river, take the Scuttler. What was this from Estonian Vipers? Hecarim, he was legit one out attack from being dead, and Sufflex used the heal to save his life. After that, Yoft got the kill, got the Triumph healing, and with the Ghost E combo, and yeah, he managed to run away. Oriana, she had the flash exhaust. Nibus Cloak in the top lane. Shen gonna get solo killed by the Poppy. Not really something I was expecting to see here, but Poppy, honestly, I mean, it's a fair matchup for Poppy. Denied the taunt with the W, and after that hit the Q out attack. You do some damage, not really much, but you do some, and you don't take any. So fight by fight, Poppy will be stronger than Shen, but definitely, as you said, something that should have not happened, at least at this point of the game.
Of course, like, that solo kill is really bad for Cunningham, because Shen is a champion that when he has his stand united, he wants to use it off cooldown, because it's such a huge cooldown, and you need to get those assists, you need to get that experience, so you can get level 11, you can get level 16, you can get lower cooldown on your stand united. But this way, you're automatically behind against this Poppy. I mean, she's not gonna outscale you that much. You're still stronger than her in the side lane, because your Q is a little bit, actually your shield was buffed dispatch, I think, or was that 10-15, I'm not really sure. But after this solo kill, yeah, as we can see, Poppy is just gonna freeze away on the other side, gank on bot.
Yeah, Hecarim will not manage to find the knockback onto Lakinter and the Patrick, but Sufflex can be some problems, although the Karthus Q will not land. Although Patrick, there might be some problems. The Battle Dance has been used on the Lakinter for denying the Hecarim gank. Jabuticaba again fighting against Tibor 1v1. I'm not really sure why he's doing this. He's playing against an assassin and he's playing Oriana, so these fights probably will never end in favor of Ori, especially when Jabuticaba is not a level 6. Now he's lacking a level, and Tibor got the bush element, so Yoff can... Jabuticaba.
Oh, yeah, that was the bad talkback. My bad, but yeah, Jabuticaba, I wasn't really sure. Was it Jabuticaba or Jabuticaba? Thank you for that.
Again on the bot lane. Now let's see what he can do. Patrick again has the Grand Entrance, and he will use it as a disengage for Yoft, but Wally will not connect onto this Rakan. Flashes away. Well, still a small victory for the Vipers. Patrick lost his flash, and next time this gank happens, Hecarim will probably get a kill. Jabuticaba is a problem, he doesn't have enough mana to actually take the kill. Ignite will take him down. Tibor's last Ignite tick actually took the kill here, and this will be pretty good for 5 Kings, although Tibor is recalling on the ward, and Yoft wanted to take the kill here, but with focus being on the Raptors, he couldn't do a thing there. He's a level 4 Hecarim against a level 5 Evelyn. Not really that good for Hecarim. He's ganking that bot so much, so he doesn't get enough XP, and Focus will get level 6 before the Hecarim does.
Of course. And the Hecarim got that lead, but he isn't really doing anything with it. He needs to counter jungle this Evelyn, but as Michko said, he is a level behind as well, as we can see. I think a whole level that is, because Focus, yeah, we can see it's not the whole level but half of it. That's really big for the Evelyn, because Hecarim is a power farming jungler. When he gets that 6, when he gets Trinity Force, he's gonna perma invade that Evelyn. He should do it even now, because he's a Hecarim. Evelyn can't do that much to you before 6, but now again he wants to gank this bot, and maybe he's gonna succeed now.
Yeah, Lakinter cannot run away as well as the Rakan. These Karthus will be dead now. Let's see if Patrick can get killed. Yov does have the Conqueror and the Qs. One more Q out attack combo, but Focus is there to save the Rakan. Honestly, if this game ends in favor of Estonian Vipers, I want Minya to ask Yoft is his tent is comfortable enough in the bot lane. Because I hope it really does, because you don't want to go camping without actually feeling comfortable in your tent.
Yeah, of course, but that's actually now really big for Hecarim. He got his 2nd kill. I don't think this is a really good call, because Poppy has her TP and Focus just hit level 6. We can see each and one. Here comes the flash, here comes the solo kill. 1v4, that's why he's picking Evelyn. He knows her limits, and like I said, this was a really bad call. If Focus was still level 5, this could be okay, but still, Poppy has her TP. Of course, Stand United is there, but Poppy is a bit stronger. Evelyn is a bit stronger than Hecarim, because he didn't recall to buy his items off of these kills, and Kiana is just really stronger than Orianna, because Orianna just got her tier, and tier doesn't do anything in the early stages of the game. So that Drake was a really big throw for the Vipers, but they aren't still out of the game. The gold is pretty even, but they need to make somewhat of a lead, as we can see the top lane is 700 gold ahead in the jungle. Hecarim, of course, that 1 kill is good for him, but that we won't see him coming online before the Trinity Force. He needs the Trinity Force ASAP, because before that he is pretty much a useless champ. He needs, like, we can say 1,000 and 100-ish.
1400.
Yeah, a bit more. And definitely Kiana got her Mobis as well, so we're gonna see a lot of roams from her, and Jabuticaba won't have an answer to that.
Well, that's honestly a weird decision. I mean, Tibor hasn't left the mid lane like legit in the past 10 minutes of the game, so not really sure why he went for the Mobi boots instead of maybe finishing another lethality item and trying to kill Jabuticaba solo. I mean, Jabuticaba does have the flash exhaust, so Kiana cannot take the kill that easily, but definitely that can be a problem for Kiana. Like, nobody's pushing that much that Tibor can just go to some lane and try the gank. Kuningas, honestly, this is a pretty weird Shen gameplay. He's losing. He's losing to Poppy 1v1, 30 CS behind. First by Boots of Speed and Rejuvenation beat, and now he will recall and get a Bami Cinder and Mercury's Threads.
Yeah, that doesn't work. That doesn't work at all. You cannot take those mercs, because Poppy, yes, she does % of HP, but everything is physical damage. The only thing in Poppy's kit that's magical damage is her W. That's the only thing that's magical,
and
but here we go!
The Hecarim, he will ult on the Laketer, forcing the flash on Karthus, and now here comes the TP from Onios. Poppy is there, and here comes the Shen with the Stand United. He will land the 2-man taunt, but nobody is following up under the enemy tier 2 turret. Now Poppy will be stunned by the crystal arrow from the Ashe, and Requiem from Karthus will be used from the jungle, from the bot lane, pardon me, and now this will be another kill for Tibor. This Kiana is 3-0. Moby Boots actually worked out at this point of the game. He took 2 kills, and everybody on the side of 5 Kings survived. In the meantime, Evelyn is taking the 2nd turret with the Herald.
Split push Evelyn.
Split push Evelyn, Herald, and the auto attacks. The turret is gonna be destroyed. Nobody found a way to actually deny the stand United from Shen, but nobody besides Hecarim actually deals damage. So this was a pretty easy fight for 5 Kings. They, even though they do have like only 2 kills more than Estonian Vipers, they have almost 3,000 gold lead, which is so far pretty good. And also Kiana has the early lead. Evelyn also has some early kills. Cartus, yeah, he died 2 times so far. He does have a 25 CS disadvantage, but it's a Cartus. It does have a pretty well scaling, so if the Estonian Vipers go for the Evelyn Kiana focus, then Lakinter can kill them all with the Q spams and his Cartus ultimate rough. So far, yeah, the Dash did find a good Enchanta Crystal Arrow on the Poppy, but with the only build Water Cutlass and Berserker's Graves, honestly, you can't kill her. Maybe in like 25 to 30 minutes when he gets the completed Blithering King and Runas Hurricane. Yeah, then Onios will kill Ash 1v1, and so far he's doing that against the Shen, even though they're both level 9. Onios with the Q, Aura Attack, and the Bami Cinder combo, I mean Suffocate combo. Shen is taking too much damage so far, and Kuningas can't do anything with the Shen. Maybe in the late game, if he becomes a good taunt bot and finds the taunt on the Kiana, on the Evelyn, on the Cartus with the good Shocky combo, this can be good for Estonian Vipers, but in the mid lane, Tibor will take his Rampage kill. Poppy with the roam from the top lane, diving the Orianna between 2 mid lane turrets. Lakinter will get hit by the Enchanta Crystal Arrow, and here comes the Hecarim with the E. This Cartus used both of his summoners in the previous fight, which means he will die instantly in the bot lane. But again, these are only kills on the Hecarim, and after they take the kill, they do absolutely nothing on the map. Yep. So gold lead is increasing in favor of 5 Kings every single time Cartus dies. And 5 Kings, yeah, they know they have the Cartus, they know he scales pretty well, and they don't care if he dies so much in the early game.
Yeah, and I have to comment the Shen build, because not only their mercs are bad, but that Bami Cinder is really bad as well, because the way you want to play against Poppy is you don't want to let her poke you while you're very clear. Actually, I go back to that fight. Just broke out Kiana. Hit the ultimate, but Hecarim is coming back.
Not enough.
Yeah, not enough. The 5 Kings were there before the Hecarim. I want to go back to the build, because if Shen took Tiamat instead of this Bami Cinder, he wouldn't have to go face in with his face in the creeps. He wouldn't let Poppy throw her Q, and he wouldn't get harassed so much like now. But like this, you need to go into the creeps, you need to auto attack, you don't have a really efficient way of clearing the creeps and trading at the same time. With Tiamat, you could even while behind, you can harass Poppy. The only thing you need to do is not stand close to a wall, and you would have a pretty even matchup. But like this,
yeah, he bought Mercury Stress so he can stay close to the wall.
Yeah, and that's just, yeah, Kuningas, the only why he lost the lane is his build, not his mechanical play. The build is so bad, and of course his recall timers were really ineffective, because he lost the tower on his second recall, which should never ever happen. And as we can see, the Hecarim, he has 3 kills in 14 minutes, but he didn't complete his Trinity Force yet, and he's gonna die a 3rd time now.
Yeah, he's gonna die definitely. Tibor will find the root as well as focus with the charm. This will be another kill for Tibor. 5-0-1 Kiana. Honestly, I mean, Yoff did a pretty well job against Tibor, CC locking him with the knockback and the fear, but Patarek did an amazing job with the Rakan charm knockup combo. Jabutikaba gonna be killed again. The Ash Hawkshot did see the Evelyn on the map. Focus does have the ulti, so he will use the ultimate to actually run away against Jabutikaba. But Tibor flashes over the wall. Stand United will definitely not be enough for Orianna to actually stay alive. Tibor does so much damage that even Shen ulti cannot do anything about it. And so far,
it's too late.
Yeah, did you see the Shen bug? I mean, it's not the bug. It's kind of a league undo system abusing.
What happens?
You go into the base,
okay,
sell every single item you have, buy full AP, and use the Stand United. I will continue talking after this fight ends. Patarek, Yoff needs only 1 Q to actually kill him. The Challenging Smite will do that, but this will be another kill for 5 Kings. 2 for 1 in the bot lane, and maybe this turret can be taken down. Cannon minion away, which means 1 more creep, 1 more damage output for the turret.
Oh, here we go. He has the 24s.
Yeah, that's 24 for the Hecarim. Now back to story.
Back to Shen.
Yeah, Shen goes into the base, sells every single item he has, buys full AP.
Yeah, his shield does then 2000.
His shield is legit legit like 100% of his allies HP, and then while channeling Stand United, press the undo button until you have every single item back in your inventory.
Is that doable?
Yeah, that's doable, because you don't do damage with the ulti.
Yeah.
So basically, you're not attacking the opponent, so you can still use the undo option. And then you come back extremely tanky, and you also gave your ally a 100% HP shield.
I really need to try that. That's really interesting as a Shen player.
But yeah, the only way that works is when you go back into the base.
Of course.
And every single time so far we've seen the Shen ulti that happened during the Shen being in the lane, so no undo option for him. And so far with this buy, Kuningas has, like, even if he sells every single item here, he can buy a needlessly large rod and an amplifying tome, nothing more than that. So shield will not be that well. And also if in the late game, he can sell every single item, buy AP and CDR, and he has like a 40-second cooldown on the ult.
Yeah, and that's actually really good. I need to try that in my solo queue games. That's definitely gonna happen as soon as I get home. And the Hecarim just got online, but I think it's too late. As we can see, Focus got his Magi. I mean, it's not really stacked, but a kill at a time. And he's gonna get it.
That's completely standard for Focus. He gets a kill or two and then instantly goes for the Magi stacks. He managed to find 25 of them in his first Evelyn game. In his second Evelyn game, he got, if I'm not wrong, around 20 to 22. And after that he got shut down, so he lost some of them. Raf will not get charmed by this Evelyn, and Luckinter manages to find one Q. Will hit the second one with the Poppy, landing the stun, and Tibor is godly. Suplex will flash away, but let's see if this Kiana can take another kill. Definitely not. Suplex did survive this engage from the Poppy. Kuningas finds the taunt only on one guy, and that will be the Evelyn, who does have the ulti to run away, and Yoft will not do enough damage. Shocky will land on 3 people, but Oriana actually doesn't have a single damage item except the Archangel stuff, but Archangel honestly gives more mana than damage, so you cannot do anything with a 4-man Shockwave. No damage from Estonian Vipers means 5 Kings did take 2 kills in favor of one. Only Raf died here, then Raf honestly, such a sad game for him. I mean, he's playing pretty good this Ashe, but he died 3 times because he's playing Ashe against 2 assassins and the Kartis. And
not only that, Hecarim perma-ganked botlane, and he forced Raf to fight all the time, even when he didn't want to do it. And we saw like 3 ganks were failed in the early game, and that only set Raf behind. As we can see, yeah, they kill Carter so many times, but Raf is in the same level as that Carter, which should never happen when you gank botlane so many times. And I think Kuningas just dies again.
F in the chat. But Yoft is coming with a charge.
Yeah, he's gonna die as well then.
He charged on the Grump. So no help for the Shen, and Kuningas will definitely die here. Tibor will take the legendary kill. 8-0 on the Kiana, and honestly, what I do like about this Kiana is the fact that this is a new champion for Tibor's champion pool. We didn't see it so far, and this is the first time Kiana has been picked in the Baltic Masters, first time being picked for Tibor as well, and this is also a new power pick for them. And now if you're playing against them, you want to ban Veigar, you want to ban Syndra, you want to ban maybe LeBlanc or something like that, and now you want to always focus onto that Kiana as well, with Evelyn constantly being played by Focus, and now we've seen the Kartis on the Luckinter. You know, Tibor can play some AD picks. Focus can be some problems against Yoft. Yoft does have the Hecarim ultimate, but Evelyn, what kind of ulti was that for Focus? Finds a way to escape the fear as well as the taunt, finds a way to survive as well, and Shen ulti as well as the Hecarim one will go on the cooldown. Both ultis have a pretty good amount of cooldown, so they will need some time for them to actually come back online. But so far, honestly, 5 Kings, even though they did, I don't want to say int the early game, but Hecarim did have a pretty nice laning phase in the bot lane. 5 Kings do have a 6,000 gold advantage, and this blue trinket will reveal Baron being done by the 5 Kings. Hecarim doesn't have the flash, doesn't have the ulti, so he doesn't have an option to actually steal this Baron unless going totally around the Baron pit wall.
This is perfect for Tibor. This is perfect for him.
Yeah, Tibor is looking for a 5-man Kiana ulti, and he does have a pretty fair amount of chance to actually succeed in that. Yoft wants to engage, and now when Hecarim went completely berserk and got the Oriana ball, they wanted to disengage. Definitely not a good opportunity for 5 Kings to fight here. Kartas used up all of his mana just to damage the Baron, which means that if the fight starts, Kartus cannot do anything. He got the blue buff now, so he will get some mana back. But definitely this will not be the variant for 5 Kings, but Poppy is coming from behind. The Estonian Vipers are in some problem. Onis does have the W, will find the charge back here, but he will focus the Apothecary, and here comes a T3-man Kiana ultimate focus, and Tibor will take every single kill in this team fight. 3 in favor of 0.
That's not
double for Tibor, 1 for focus, and everybody is pretty healthy except this Kiana, so this looks like a pretty easy 5 Kings Baron. Only Kiana has to recall, but with the Moby Boots, with the Hunger bonus movement speed, he will be here pretty fast, and only Jabuticaba and Yoft want to contest this, although Hekurim does have the ulti as well as the smite, so maybe we can look for a possible steal. Hekurim is coming pretty fast. He procced the Ghost as well to try and contest this, but nobody has division, so he wants to do that. Oriana Ball will definitely give some. Yoft looking for the ulti, looking for the smite. Can he actually do it? Deeper will focus Jabuticaba, and now he has the vision. The Chatter Crystal will hit the Rakan. They still haven't finished the Baron. They're waiting for Yoft. Yoft ultis, doesn't find the smite there. Definitely ulted a little bit late, which will give 5 Kings a 5th kill from the fight and the 5-man Baron.
Yeah, and you just can't outsmite the Evelyn when he just executes it with her R and smites it. It's not possible, especially when you're a level. I think he's actually 2 levels behind the Evelyn, and it's just not doable at this point. He has an item and a half. I mean, it is a Trinity Force, but the thing Viper's team comp works is Hekurim gets ahead, he gets the Trinity Force, and then Oriana and Karma just run with him, shield him movements, give him the speed up, maybe an arrow lands there and there, and Shen stand united when it's necessary. But the problem is they just gave so much lead to the Kiana, and actually everyone on the side of 5 Kings, like solo kills on the top lane, solo kills on the mid lane, and it's just not possible. And we can see this Poppy, she can 1v2 them really easily. Yeah, she just eased the creep so she can get in range. The Ashe, for some reason, stood there anyway. Stand United was knocked back, and yeah, this Poppy is just doing everything herself. I mean, Requiem is still off cooldown, so he can keep fighting. And the Kartus, yeah, he's coming from behind, and I don't think Vipers have any chance to escape this.
He will find the slow, but Ruff will hit a fair amount of auto attacks, but now he came too close to the wall. Then Onios can actually flash a stun on this Ashe. Sufflex now in some problems as well as Cunnings, but here comes the Tibur, here comes the focus as well. Chum will not land on the Shen, but Karma will be dead as well as this Ashe. Whole bot lane of Estonian Vipers is dead, and now 5 Kings with the minion wave, with the Baron buff. This looks like a top lane inhib, as well as the kill on the Shen. 5th death on this Estonian Vipers top laner, which means 5 Kings with this minion wave maybe can look for the win. The new wave is coming on the top lane, so with this wave approaching as well as being the cannon minion, this will be used for Jabuticaba. You have to actually just force and go back into the base. 5 Kings will take down the first Nexus turret. Yoff does have the Hekurim multi, and he wants to find the engage. Jabuticaba Shockwave is on cooldown, which means Oriana is pretty useless in this fight at this moment, but Ruff does find the Q proc, does have the Blade Ring King as well as the Runa's Hurricane. They will focus down this Evelyn. Focus didn't find the ulti that well, and 5 Kings will not end the game, at least at this moment of the game. Yoft will knock back on the Patrick, and now Onios can also be a CC locked. Bonus movement speed is applied from Sufflex, Mantra E combo, and now Poppy tries to kill Ashe 1v1. It was pretty close, honestly. As you said, Glisho, Poppy in the late game can kill Ashe 1v1, and if Ruff was solo against Onios, this would be a dead Ashe.
I mean, instead, a Poppy can kill 3 Ashes. 1v3.
Yeah, but the Estonian Vipers, yeah, the next Ocean Drake has been spawned. They need to take it because 5 Kings can take the Ocean Soul here, and Tibor will find a 2-man stun. Jabuticaba will probably be the next guy dead on the scoreboard, but Tibor doesn't have the range for Q to actually land. Yoft finds a way to proc the Conqueror with the constant Q spams, and Luckinter will be the first guy dead on the 5 Kings in this fight. Tibor still has the Q, goes into stealth, but Kuning Spackle can find him with the Suffer Cape damage. Tibor will find his 13th kill of the game, and now Shen can definitely chase this Kiana. In the meantime, Yoft will be dead by focus, and Jabuticaba has to run away to the base. Minions will destroy the Nexus.
Minions will destroy him. Run, Jabuticaba, run.
Minions will destroy everything at this point of the game, and now since Oriana and Shen have to defend the base, this means 5 Kings will get the Ocean Soul. Honestly, for Evelyn, Kiana, Kartus, not really much of a big deal. But I want to see Onions like legit going 1v5 with the Ocean Soul. He will never die.
Yeah, he can definitely do it. I would like to see like a Thorn Mail on him, because Ashe is just gonna kill herself, just like the Hecarim. But yeah, it's not really necessary with a 10,000, actually it's not 10,000, it's 9,000 gold advantage in 26 minutes. I mean, they don't need to take anything else, they can just run straight over the Nexus and take the game really easily for themselves. I think it's exactly what they're gonna do. They're gonna push the bot wave. I mean, they can take it like... They can go for 3 inhibs, but it's not necessary. You have an open Nexus, you have like 6-1 on Evelyn, 13 kills on that Kiana. He even took the Umbral's Glaive instead of the Edge of Night, but yeah, that's what happens. And now, Vipers are looking for the engage, really nice ultimate, but no damage as it appears, and Rakan, he has his dashes, he can never be caught. And now, like we said, Poppy is gonna slaughter them all.
Yeah, here comes the Karthus ulti, which will damage for every single person on the side of Estonian Vipers. Rakan finds the charm, finds the knockup on Yabutikaba. Stand United will provide Oriana some shield, but Onions will take the kill out attack for the double. And now 4 people dead, Nexus is open. Estonian Vipers are gonna lose the game from this fight. The only guy alive is Saflex, and this Karma cannot do anything solo against 5 people. Rafi is respawning in 5 seconds, but in the meantime the Nexus will probably fall. Minions as well as Tibor are taking down Estonian Vipers' Nexus, and 5 Kings go 7-0 on the table.
Five Kings stay on the top with their crown on their heads. They didn't lose to Estonian Vipers, and as we saw here, a lot of kills, a lot of chaotic games here being played from Five Kings, but eventually they always take the victory so far. We'll talk with Glisha and Michko. What happened in this game, and how did Five Kings triumph here? Guys, was it the draft? I wanted to ask you that, because we saw a different kind of draft. We saw that Kiana, we saw Hecarim. Glisho, can you tell me, did this lose for Estonian Vipers and the victory for Five Kings happen during the draft?
Well, the draft was really something else for both teams, but actually both drafts were really okay, because you have an Oriana and a Karma on the one side with a hypercarry Ashe and a Hecarim that can really demolish the enemy team with a nice gameplay and a little lead in the early game. On the other side, you have like an assassin jungle, assassin mid lane, and you know they want to fight all the time as soon as they get like not even one item, a half of an item, and then they want to force fights and take the kills and then snowball the game. And it looked really scary for Five Kings in the early game when we saw the Hecarim just perma gank bot, but the problem there was the ganks weren't really set up, they were just forced. He was just running down bot lane all the time. Even when he had his whole bot side jungle to clear in the beginning, he ganked bot, he wasted his time, he took the XP of Ruff, which is really important when you're playing against the Karthus, and the ganks sometimes worked out, but one failed gank when Kiana had her Mobis and they just dived between the two towers was really unacceptable, and Five Kings took advantage of it. That's the time when they got their first significant lead, and they just, like I said, snowballed off of that.
Michko, do you think that that was the biggest mistake that the Estonian Vipers made during the game? Was that to send Hecarim and to camp bot, not to clear the jungle, to take the XP? was that the only mistake that they made, or you saw something else during the game?
Well, sure. I mean, this game was definitely a pretty pretty good explanation of how they had us in the first half meme looks like. At some point, Hecarim like opened up his tent in the bot lane. He constantly camped Kartus, and they did take some kills. But yeah, as Glisha said, he only camped bot lane, took some summoners of the enemy bot laners, took some kills, but he didn't finish that Trinity Force before level 6. He didn't get any single objective. He was lacking in level, lacking in CS, lacking in everything compared to Focus, and Focus did his job as Evelyn. I mean, we saw that Evelyn already in these in the Baltic Masters on this player, just AFK farm, get level 6, and then start doing something on the map. And as soon as Evelyn got her ulti, Focus was unstoppable. And also, once again, we have to talk about Tibor. That Kiana was really nasty. First time playing Kiana in the Baltic Masters, he got 2 solo kills in the mid lane. After that, perfect ultis, perfect engages, didn't die a single time in this game, and 74% kill participation as an assassin. And yeah, I mean, draft could have looked different for Estonian Vipers. We already talked about that during the Champion Select. You don't want to go Ashe into Kartus and 2 assassins. You're like legit forcing yourself to die and lose every single team fight on your own. No matter what you do, you can have perfect farm, you can have perfect KDA, you can do everything perfectly. But as soon as Evelyn, Kiana flash into your face, Kartus uses ulti, you're dead. Doesn't matter what you play, what champion, how much CS you have, what build you have, you're definitely dead. So not really liking the Ashe there, but Raf did show up with some good AD carry mechanics in the previous matches as well as this one as well, maybe, but definitely not enough for him to survive 2 assassin mid combo.
Glisha, do you think someone can take down the 5 Kings here? Since you just saw our 4 out of 6 teams play, and Just for Fun took their victory. I've asked you if they can take them down. You said that it depends usually on the draft. But right now, the draft wasn't favored for the 5 Kings. Okay, we have Tibor on the interview. Let's talk and ask him about this.
Sure.
Tibor, congrats on this victory.
Thank you. Hello, guys.
It seems like you're on a roll here. How do you feel after this? You died 0 times in this game. That's strange.
I mean, yeah, I guess like I'm dying like a lot in like scrims and solo, because like I really try to like focus this game and like try to play my best, I guess.
Oh, so yeah. You make the quota in scrims, and then you go into the competitive games, and then you die 0 times. Why Kiana? What was behind it? Was it something you planned before, or it was something you came up during the draft?
I mean, we did plan it as well, but like looking at the draft as well, we saw they have like 3 squishy targets before I picked the Kiana, and we also had Kartus, so we needed the AD as well. And like only like it's probably like the only AD champion I can play as well. Also like Pantheon or whatever, but I guess Kiana was like the best champion to go.
And we talked about how they picked Ashe after they saw 2 assassins being picked. Did you guys think that was also a bad thing for them, and that they don't really have an AD carry?
We thought they'd pick Ashe faster than last pick, but we did think that they're gonna go Ashe most likely. But I guess it's bad into our comp as well, because again, I mean, they did have double exhaust as well. It really helped them a lot. We had to like time this a lot. Like when can we go in? Do they have exhausts or not? It like really can change the team fight. I guess it's a fine pick, but I don't know. Not into Kiana Evelyn, I guess.
Yeah, but it didn't work out for them since you guys
didn't.
got the victory. Tibor, thanks for the interview, and good luck.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Yeah, he also thinks that as you just heard, that it's not really a best pick to pick up the Ashe. I don't know why they decided for it.
Yeah, I'm still sticking to that Zilean pick, because not only he does parry the Kartus in that wave clear, he just gives the mobility to every champion in his team count, and above all, he gives his ultimate to the one target Evelyn Kiana 1-to-1 shot. Of course, their ultimates does do AoE, and they can pretty much collapse on the whole team. But as we saw, there weren't like 5-on-5 team fights. They were just like Kiana and Evelyn pick off one target, and they just have the numbers advantage. With Zilean, that wouldn't be. I mean, it would be possible, but not at that point, because he's just really fast as a champion, and he can speed up his allies. And like I said, he can wave clear and set up ganks for the Hecarim in the early game. If that wasn't the Ashe and Zilean, like that gank level 3 would definitely be possible, and not just a waste of experience.
Well, we hope Vipers are listening right now, because it seems like that would have maybe won them the game or even changed the course at some point. Ladies and gentlemen, this was our second game of the night. We still have one more to go, so stay tuned. We come back after a short break.
You got me trapped inside this spell. Now I feel it. Now I feel it. Your demons drag me close to hell. I can feel it.
Voices in my head know me, call me. I will be restless. Somehow they chose me. This is my nightlife. Wanna be high life. I feel so reckless. Calling them all night. I shouldn't have, with the people I shouldn't know. I might as well have still on that. It's the only thing that I fucking do.
And we're off to our last match of the night. It's gonna be Iron Wolves trying to take down Kenty, or vice versa, since Kenty is the team that's on the lower side of the scoreboard. Of course, before the game starts, we're gonna take and make a short introduction to this game. What can we expect from the both crews? Iron Wolves and Kenty. Kenty seem to be having a comeback here. I don't know how to call it, but from 0-5 now they're 1-5. Yeah,
that's better than 0-6.
Yeah, definitely. But Iron Wolves have shown us that they are indeed a good team since they are on top of the scoreboard. I mean, amongst the top teams. And do you think Kenty here stands a chance? Are they coming back? What can they show us right now?
Well, it's definitely, like I said, better having that one win, and that definitely lifted them up a little bit, and they're coming like with a better personality in this game, and definitely a better communication. And I really hope Kenty can show us something that they haven't up until now, and if they want to come back, this is the time for it. You need to take down the team that's higher than you on the board, and yeah, like I said, this is the time for it. Yeah,
definitely. If they take down Iron Wolves, then they might get a chance to go up. Let's go and take a look at our lineups here. What players are we going to see join the server? Is going to be Detron, Agenta, Saulius, Yashiro, and Javieles on side of Iron Wolves. And on the side of Kenty is going to be Smuckler, Real, Vintulis, Eonis, and Iron. What do you think, Mitchko? These are the players, as I always ask you, the lane where Kenty can triumph here. Are they gonna go for the lane, or you think they're gonna go for the team comp, trying to like not stomp every lane, but win overall?
Well, honestly, I really don't have a lane where I see Kenty actually winning. I mean, we have Rimtulis, who really underperformed so far, and overall our experience with him is mostly negative. Saulius, on the other hand, is the mid laner in Iron Wolves, and everybody knows how much I hype Saulius.
He's a monster.
In Baltic Masters. In the top lane, Smackler played Cannon a lot, and the first time he didn't play Cannon, they won the game. On the other hand, Detron is a split push machine, and I'm not really sure if Smackler can pick anything to actually counterpick him. In the bot lane, Iron and Dionis didn't look that good either, so...
Do you think someone on the side of Iron Wolves is going to get target banned? And who could that be?
Maybe
what do they want?
When Iron Wolves played against 5 Kings, most of the picks went to the top lane. They banned the Jax, they banned another split pusher, and then they took Camille from this one. So maybe if they want to play like that, they can target ban him. But Smackler, we didn't see some split push picks from his side, so that will be a new thing for Kenty in this match if they go for it.
Yeah, Glisho, I know it's hard, but who do you vote for here?
Well, since they're 1-5 and they're having a comeback, Kenty is gonna win this game, like 40%. But yeah, I'm cheering for Kenty.
You're cheering for Kenty. Okay, we're gonna hear it in your voice. Mitchko's not happy with that decision.
He's never happy with my decisions.
Yeah. He's right now leading this little competition that we have here, because he won the first game, and in the second game you guys voted for the same team.
Yeah.
Which was unusual. But right now, Mitchko, you're going for.
Well, I'm going for Iron Wolves, but definitely I wouldn't like immediately disable Kenty from winning. I mean, they still they have a good chance at reaching top 4 if they win here. First 3-3 team lost today. That's Estonian Viper a few minutes ago, and now if they win against Iron Wolves, the Iron Wolves will also be 3-4, and Kenty will be 2-5. So only one win will be the distance between them and the top 4. So they will look for a win here definitely.
Yeah, well, maybe we can see them come back here. Let's see how you voted on our Instagram profile. What percentage? It's 52 against 48. Did you just say 48?
He said 40.
He said 40? Okay.
Yeah, I said 40.
But it was
you said 40? Okay. I thought he said 48. I was like, okay, go get a lotto ticket.
Again, like I said, it's rigged.
Yeah,
we know everything that's gonna happen.
Everything. You know everything that's gonna happen. I didn't know that. Okay, as for the audience, it seems like we're gonna have an exciting game here in store for us for our last game. These first two games finished a bit fast, and maybe now we're gonna see a late game here into the 40 minutes.
Maybe.
Well, of course, ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts. We're going into our last game. We're gonna see Iron Wolves taken down, or trying to take down, Kenty. Stay tuned, we're going into the Champion Select.
Last champion select of the day is about to begin, and Direwolves, they did have some interesting picks, although it was only in the first few weeks while Agentas was playing bot lane before Yashiro came into the AD carry position. Now Agentas is back into the jungle, Yashiro is a standard champion pool AD carry, so maybe we will not see some surprises, but Iron Wolves did go for the blind pick. Oh, no, it wasn't a blind pick, but it was a counter pick Fizz into Syndra against 5 Kings.
But
so maybe if they get a chance to counterpick here, maybe we will see something as exciting as Fizz.
yeah, but if Syndra plays that matchup correctly,
Yeah, Tibur did win the matchup.
yeah, like Fizz counterpick himself.
Saulius got the first kill in that 1v1, and after that he didn't get a single kill against Syndra because Tibur played it very well. So
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't say it was good. I said that it was exciting.
Yeah, interesting.
Yeah,
and exciting. As we can see now, the Syndra is banned as well as Evelyn. I didn't expect that at all.
Real was is currently the only guy beside Focus that played Evelyn in the Baltic Masters. So not really surprised why it got banned, but on the other hand, Real showed with the Evelyn that he wants to play aggressive picks, and with the aggressive picks, maybe he can look to change something in favor of Kenty.
Yeah, really, I'm not that pleased with the drafts here in Baltic Masters because so many power picks are left open, like that Kalista for an example like that. I mean, it's still 10-14, Aphelios is still a thing, and bans like Poppy, Evelyn, and actually Syndra is okay, you can blind pick her, but I know you don't like Syndra as a blind pick even that early in the game. So, and Jax is taken away as well, so many picks are here available. Like I said, Kalista is free. Are they really gonna first pick Shen? And they I can't believe it. I wanna see it, but it's not that good.
I like your reaction to this.
Yeah, there we go.
Honestly, this Karma ban is...
Wait. Okay,
really
Shen is okay compared to blind pick Nidalee. I mean, that should never happen.
Well, it's an aggressive jungle, and the Real showed us that he wants to play aggressive jungle. So Graves is open, Nidalee is open, maybe Lee Sin Evelyn.
I like this.
But Jace is a counterpick to Shen. I mean, this early into the game, not something that they like to see, honestly. Like,
he can be a flex.
Yeah, he can be a flex, but Jace is definitely not a champion that will be banned or picked in this champ select.
Yeah.
So not really sure why they want to go for it that early. They can always pick it as a 3rd, 4th, 5th pick, and nobody will ban it. But Graves Ashe can be a pretty good combo. Graves will be an aggressive pick for the early game. Ashe will scale pretty well, and also Ionis and Iron. You know Iron, definitely he played also in the EBL, and he looked pretty well. I mean,
he was okay.
In Baltic Masters as well. He's playing only Thresh and Nautilus, and that's why I'm kind of confused why Karma was banned here, because he is, I don't want to say Thresh OTP, but definitely when Thresh is open, he will play it. If it's banned, he definitely has some more champions to play. So not really a one-trick pony, but definitely a Thresh main. And
wait.
Trundle into Graves.
And Ashe, like, you're gonna get kited so well, and as well as the Graves, like Graves dominates that matchup. And yeah, Sen is okay, you can I mean, you can't parry the Ashe in the laning phase, but you outrange her at some point, and definitely that's gonna work for them. But yeah, I don't really like the Trundle as well as Shen. They're really early in the game picked. Actually, Trundle should never be picked versus the Graves. But yeah, if Agentas is comfortable on it, it can definitely work, but they need to play it really, really carefully, and they need the lane priors as well. If Seth goes on the top lane, yeah, it's a 50-50 matchup for Shen, because if Seth goes ahead, Shen can never win the matchup. But if Shen goes ahead, I mean, Seth can still win, but Shen has the upper hand, like always. But it's definitely gonna be a 50-50, and the junglers are gonna be really valuable there for their top laners, because they're not really full tanks. I mean, Seth wants to go for that Blade of the Ruined King, Shen wants to go for that Tiamat build, and it's definitely gonna be interesting watching the top lane. And now mid laners are gonna get banned, like Azir and Ziggs. Actually, I mean, Kent has the last pick, so Ziggs can be cheesed at some point. Now, what do they wanna do now? I mean, support is definitely gonna be the 4th pick for Iron. Yeah, I'm seeing a trash here. I'm definitely seeing a trash.
Thresh and Nautilus, definitely something of those two, and I honestly would like Nautilus more, because...
Yeah, but Pillar. you can't escape the pillar with Nautilus.
But
Trash
you can
has the
focus,
lantern.
but you can focus down, lock down with the CC Senna more easier with the Nautilus than with Thresh.
True.
With Nautilus, you can use the ulti, and no matter where she goes, she will be knocked up. With the Thresh, you hit the Q, she will go into the cloud, be invisible, and just run away. But we'll see. Thresh Ashe is a pretty good combo. Enchanted Crystal Arrow into the Death Sentence is a pretty good CC lock. And this Orianna, maybe...
It's okay.
I mean, it's a good blind pick, but on the other hand, it still is an option for Sett to be flexed bot lane. I wouldn't like it.
True.
Because definitely against Senna, you see Sett running into you, use the W, just run away, and Sett will never engage. But honestly, you still have a possibility with the flex. Shen also can be a flex champion in the bot lane, so they will save the last pick for the top or the support. When they see where Shen is going, then they can lock in a champion and Twisted Fate. Honestly, yeah, it's a good pick for roaming. Orianna can never
and you can't gank him with Graves. Ever.
Yeah, you can never gank him as well, but I'm not really that big of a fan of Twisted Fate early game. He can get killed very easily, and on level 6, Enchanted Crystal Arrow, if it hits from the bot lane, that will be a 2-second stun on Twisted Fate.
Game over.
After that, Orianna has a shockwave.
I think it's even longer than 2 seconds.
2.5.
Yeah, 2.5, even 3 at some point, perhaps.
And this will be a Nautilus lock.
So Shen is top lane.
So Shen is going top lane, which means that this will probably be a Thresh in the bot lane. Thresh is, I don't want to say an ultimate counter pick for the Nautilus, but definitely some champion that can actually tank him, use his CC to disengage against the Nautilus, as well as the Lantern for his AD carries and other teammates. Sett into Shen, honestly I really like the matchup for the Shen. You can always use a W to block Sett's auto attacks with his Q, but Malphite
support
means that Sett will probably go into the bot lane. I'm really not a fan of Malphite into Shen. We've seen this already last week in the Baltic Masters, and if I'm not wrong, Shen destroyed Malphite 1v1.
Shen always destroys Malphite.
Yeah, the only time we saw Malphite demolishing Shen in the laning phase was during some other tournament. I really don't remember which one, but the Malphite was going full AP against the Shen, and he killed him 5
with Ignite?
Yeah, with Ignite.
With Ignite.
Flash, Ignite, with the Comet, with the full AP build into Shen, kill him 5 times in 10 minutes. And so if we are going to see that, yeah, Malphite is an awesome pick, but since we will definitely not see that, yeah, it's a trash pick.
Yeah, definitely every tank versus Shen isn't that good, except maybe Poppy like we saw, because she can just...
Ornn as well, I mean, he does a percentage.
True, but Shen can dodge every single one of his abilities, and that's the problem. And the thing with Shen is his Q does magic damage and scales on the enemy's max HP, and your basic attacks do the physical damage, and on top of that you have Grasp, which is pretty good, that does max % health damage as well. So Shen is really good into tanks, and that Malphite is definitely for the team comp and not for the lane. So Iron Wolves can pretty much camp him all the way, because he doesn't have much mobility before 6. I mean, he has his wheel, which makes him a marathon runner, but
you're also picking tank into Trundle.
Yeah, that's on top of that. I mean, Malphite, I don't really like it here. I mean, I think the Jace was really better, because as you can see, you have that mid-range team comp with Graves, Orianna, Ashe, and you don't have a great engage, you have an okay engage, you have a shockwave, and you have really good damage, like poke damage, and you don't have to all in like anywhere. And like you said, you have a Trundle, he won't have a target to ultimate for his resist, so I think this was the time for Shen and not Malphite.
Well, I mean, Sett can also be used as a good disengage tool. Not really a good disengage, but when you see Nautilus and the Trundle running into Ashe with Gargle Stoneplates or Subjugates and everything, you use the ulti. First you disengage for the Ashe, after that you use the HP on the Nautilus and the Trundle to deal some more damage in the enemy backlane. So maybe Senna can be killed pretty easily. After the Sett ulti lands, he can use the pull. If he pulls 2 targets with both hands, then he will land the stun on Senna as well. Then Malphite Orianna can use the ult combo. Ashe can use the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. I mean, the combo from Kenty is not really that bad, but
they need to make it work.
They need to make it work. Yeah, they have a really easy way of working. just press R and you
Press your
actually won.
buttons.
But yeah, they do play against Nautilus, Trundle and Shen, who will be pretty tanky. Twisted Fate can go for the Zonias or Banshee's Veil, as well as Yashiro, who will probably go for the Edge of Night. Honestly, with Twisted Fate and Senon being in the back line, for them it will be hard to be hit by the Chata Crystal Arrow, which means only Orianna and Malphite combo can actually lock them down. So if they go for the spell shield items, they could be safe.
I like
pretty
this comment on Malphite.
Saulius has a comment on Twisted Fate as well as Flash and the heal. Something really new, honestly, because mostly when we see Twisted Fate, he goes for the Flash TP with the spellbook.
Yeah, I mean, Flash heal is okay if he had the spell.
Yeah.
And I mean, I understand it at some point because, as you can see, Kenty doesn't have in the mid game in the 2v2 skirmishes, they don't have point-click crowd control, so his heal can be used for the movement speed, like we saw like 3 years ago on Worlds. Like everyone took heal on the mid lane with Xerath, Orianna, and Syndra, and you just dodge the enemy's abilities. We saw that Shen has Taste of Blood as well as Ultimate Hunter, but I really don't like the comment on Malphite because, I mean, yeah, he's gonna wheel you, but Shen has his passive, has the shield, and the shield just got buffed, and it's not by much, but in the laning phase it's like an extra health potion, which definitely suits him really, really well. And this is one of the few matchups where Malphite is actually really good with that grasp of the Undying, because yeah, Shen has his own, but you're definitely gonna hit him once and then just run away. You're not gonna win the matchup at any point in the game unless Shen just throws all the way. On the other side, you have just enough damage, so that Comet, the only option where I see the Comet is good, where you want to camp the top lane, where you need the maximum damage output you need to kill the Shen, so Real it needs to contribute to that Comet to make it work.
Yeah, we'll see how it will work out. Smackler does have the Comet with the mana flow bend, so he does have an option to actually use the Q as much as possible, get the Comet proc, get the mana flow bend proc, which will give him 250 mana later on. He does also have the Transcendence, which means he will have even more CDR. So maybe we can look for the AP Malphite in this game. Not really sure if that will happen, but I'll be glad to see that, honestly. Rintulis in the mid lane has the same thing as his top laner. The only difference is that phase rush instead of the Comet, but on Orianna we saw it work pretty easily. You get command move with the command dissonance into auto attack, and phase rush is procced pretty easily. You can run away from the Twisted Fate, but the biggest problem against the Twisted Fate is the gold card, not the amount of movement speed you have. Agentas is in the bot lane, and this pillar can CC lock Ionis pretty easily. Xavieles will flash again to kill this Ashe, and Pillar will secure the first blood. Iron is also in some problems. He will flash away. He is the only guy in the bot lane that managed to survive, but all summoners used from Kenty, and they still didn't survive this gank.
Yeah, this is gonna be a pain for them. They can be perma-dived from this point onward, because, I mean, Twisted Fate is already level 4, and as soon as he gets his destiny, he's gonna perma-gank bot lane, and like we talked about it, Ashe doesn't have any disengage, and we're gonna see a repeated gank on bot lane. I think Iron is actually fine, because Dredgeline cannot... Nice hitbox against, but he has his W still, and he didn't use it. Yeah, that was really sad for Iron. Riot hitbox.
I like your response that, like, yeah, he survived the gank, that Dredgeline cannot hit him, he's hiding behind the pillar, and then here comes the broken hitbox from the Nautilus Q that secures the kill. Rintulis 100 HP against Saulius. They just have the flash. This is dead Orianna.
Yeah, he's definitely dead here. Flash bomb. He tried to freeze the wave with 20 HP. Yeah, my eyes are bleeding at the moment.
I already like this game. This is
we have something else real. Can he interrupt him? Can he kill him? Yeah, he can!
And
no flash on Twisted Fate!
Yeah, Saulius is dead.
Yeah, that was greedy for both, from both the mid laners. Like, Saulius just greeded for the recall. He could have easily went to his jungle, and Graves had nothing to do there, but yeah, why not? I'll just greed, give him one kill, and now we're even, I guess, with the enemy mid laner, but he already got that catalyst in the 4th minute of the game, so Rintulis will never have a chance to kill him. Even 2-on-1, he can easily just run away. Kenty, now of course they have a chance to counter jungle the Trundle, priority on top lane. Twisted Fate was dead, and that was just a Grom, nothing much. I mean, Agentas can respond with the Drake because Seth is just recalling Ashes in the base, and their bot lane, like we see, they just got their recall off, and they're just full items, full health, full mana. But yeah, they're not gonna risk it. The Mountain Drake isn't worth it at all. Kenty already off to a bad start. I mean, Ash is already 0-1 with no Summoner Solius. As we can see, he needs like 2 more creeps for that level 6 after this ward, and they're just gonna permagank that bot lane. Like we can see, like Agentas is already there. He doesn't have anything to do, but he just wants to make pressure, and Iron and Ionis can't do anything at all. Even if Real and Rim told this game, Ashe is a free kill. She can't join the fight at any moment because of so much CC on the enemy team. Like Nautilus has a point click route, Twisted Fate has a point click stun, and Trundle's Pillar makes it so easy for Nautilus to hit his res line, like we saw against that Iron. And yeah, they're just gonna rush the Drake, which is pretty good for them. And already they have a 1.5k gold lead. And we can see that actually Trundle isn't the one with the lead, but
yeah, slight one.
Twisted Fate has 500 gold more, and on the bot lane 300 on both AD carry and support, and that's where the lead is coming from.
Yeah, he got the kills, so even though he does lack 5 CS against Rintulis, he's definitely the one with the lead. Real.
Why? Why destroy the plan for yourself?
I mean, he was out of mana, he wanted to recall, so maybe he wanted just to destroy the plan to maybe prevent Agentas or Saulius from using that and ganking bot, but Iron and the Ionis are legit under their turret, so this plant
could only help Team Kenty.
Yeah, not really sure why he did it, but he's going top side, and in the meantime it will respawn.
Wait, Agentas
next to the bot lane. Agentas wants to counter
levels
jungle
behind.
here. That's a level 4 Trundle against the level 6 Graves. He will never kill him 1v1.
He's
Is
gonna
real.
try.
Wants to fake, but here comes the Saulius with the Twisted Fate ultimate. He will dash over the wall. Nobody has a chance to actually follow that up. No flashes, no dashes, nothing on the Iron Wolf side. And now Agentas Smackler finds a perfect Malphite ultimate. Prevents this Trundle from using the plant and jumping over the wall. Rintulis does have the Shocky, but the ball wasn't close to Saulius. Now Saulius can fight here, but he's totally out of mana, and this Shocky will connect, but Saulius doesn't have enough damage with the auto attacks, doesn't have enough mana to actually use the spells, which means both mid laners will survive. Iron found a 2-man pull, found the W through damage, and now Savielas can be some problems. Ionis needs only a few auto attacks, but here comes Ted United from the Shen. Dethrone can look for the taunt. What was that? He legit had a 2-man taunt there. Taunt the set, flash on the Ashe,
yeah.
get two stuns, I mean taunts, and then Yoshiro can only use his ulti to snipe the kills. Now Shen wasted the ulti, wants to TP back to top lane, but Smackler already got the assist, got the CS disadvantage, completely disabled, and as well got the first turret plate in the top lane.
Yeah, Dethrone, my man, he's got the Tiamat, not the Mummy Cinder or the Spectre's Howl. I mean, that's the way you have to play the Shen, because you don't have any compensation for the wave clear. That you don't have it in your kit, and you want to use the Stand United off cooldown, like I said, and you need to have the wave pushed for that. Mummy Cinder is okay in that matter, but not good enough, because Malphite has lots more wave clear than the Shen. And I really like the cool as well, because there isn't gonna be much fighting in the top lane. So 300 extra gold, actually 400 extra gold from him, for him with that cool. Now Iron is rotating on top, but I don't really think they can kill the Shen. I mean, they did it for the Herald.
Level 5 set against level 8 Shen.
Yeah, they did it for the Herald, but still their jungler isn't there. No one is there from their team, and I think this is just a waste of rotation, because Iron Wolves didn't even want to go for the Herald. As we can see, Yashiro wants to stay bot lane, wants to make the pressure, and Malphite can't do anything here 1v2. Even on 1v1, I don't think he has enough damage to kill the Senna, so Yoshiro can just easily stay on the bot lane. He can snipe the ultimate if his team wants to fight with the Herald, but yeah, they're just gonna rotate, which I think is a mistake, because Shen doesn't have either his TP or Stand United.
Yeah, this one cannot help in this fight. Malphite also stays in the bot lane and doesn't have the TP, so not really that big of a loss for both teams, honestly, but so far Iron Wolves, they made the rotation, but they still do not want to contest the Herald. Now Agentas will proc the sweeper to clear the wards, but in the meantime Real has already taken the Herald. The item is in his inventory and looks like it will be used in the top lane. maybe too early for that.
Yep.
Turret only lost one plate, so
And it's really 3.
using
They
the
can't
Herald
use
will
it.
give them only a few bonus golds into Kenty's bot lane, and the turret will not be taken
he
down.
saw him?
Malphite, I think he was spotted by the ward.
Maybe.
But he left the bush, really.
Yeah, that's my solo queue teammate. Definitely. That shouldn't happen at this level, like, yeah, ever. But it's okay, he didn't succeed to gank. He's just gonna run back bot, take some extra creeps, and maybe try again next time. Now Yashiro and Zavieles are gonna rotate towards the mid lane. Maybe they can do something. I mean, they can force their Ritualist flash or even cleanse. But yeah, he's gonna see them, he's gonna run towards the tower. And Real, we didn't see him much this game. I mean, he took the free kill when he got the chance, but he needs to do something right now when he has his warrior, because I think you're just gonna get outscaled with the enemy team. Senna is definitely, I mean, she's not gonna outscale Ashe in the terms of damage, but in the terms of range, she's definitely gonna hyperscale her, and Shockwave will never hit the Senna. I mean, Mishko, you said that Set and Malphite do contribute if they hit the R on her, but there's always a flash, and now Dragon is
Yeah, Rimtool is gonna die here, definitely. The knockup from the Nautilus will die, but Smackler will hit a 3-man Malphite knockup. Arrow will not hit anybody, but Saulius will die here. Savielis also really low on his HP. Let's see if Iron can catch up to him. He does have the bonus move from the Q, but definitely not enough for Nautilus to actually die in the meantime. Agentas and Dethrone did find a way to kill a Real, which means Iron Wolves will not lose this Drake to Kenty. Their jungler is dead, which means even if Iron and Ionis try to start the Dragon, Agentas does have the smite advantage over them. Dethrone is a level 9 Shen with the flash on cooldown, which means even if he lands the taunt, not really sure if he can take the kill here. But Agentas was here, maybe he was looking for the Shen engage, but with Trundle going for the Krugs,
yeah, he's gonna sneak the Drake.
They can take the Drake here, but Agentas went over the ward to actually take the Dragon out of the pit. Hawkshot will reveal this, and now here comes Yashiro to deal some more damage. Oriana is there, but with Shockwave on cooldown, not really sure how much Ritualist can actually do here. Also, Real taking the Gromp. Smackler does have the TP, but no unstoppable force for the Malphite, so Kenty not really in the position to contest this. Iron Wolves will take 2 dragons in this game so far, Cloud and the Mountain, and again we will see an Ocean Soul in this game if one of these two teams actually takes 4 dragons. This time, compared to the previous game, Ocean Soul can work pretty well for the Shen, for the Trundle.
And Senna, they're gonna have
Senna
infinite sustain.
Yeah.
If they get the soul.
Ocean Soul can be more useful than it was in the previous match for the blue side, but Iron Wolves so far look like a team that will have the dragon. I mean, they do lead 5-3 in kills, slight CS advantages in some of the lanes, and so far they do have only 500 gold lead, which is basically nothing, honestly.
Yeah, Ritualist is really cocky here.
He wants to take the solo kill against the Solius, but
he's just gonna get solo killed.
Yeah, he will get solo killed. Maybe even executed from the turret, but here comes Agentas with the pillar. Yeah, no summoners on the...
He used the blue card on the creeps. Solius. That was really bad.
Smackler looking for the knockup on Dethrone. Here comes Real with the Graves. Good amount of damage on the Shen. He does have the taunt to... I mean, it is on cooldown, so no way for him to actually escape. W already used, which means Dethrone cannot survive this, and this will be a kill for Kenty. Not that big of a deal, but Malphite will now take some more turret plates on that top lane. But in the meantime, Agentas, Savieles and Yashiro did take the first turret, which means that Kenty will not win the race for bonus gold. In the meantime, Iron and the Ionis also rotated to the top side, so this will be a 1-for-1 turret trade. But
this is a second tower bot lane.
It can be a second tower. We will see if that will happen, but so far nobody is recalling on the bot lane. Smackler is now running down with the Malphite. But definitely he will not stop the push that much. Savieles and Yashiro will not destroy the turret, but they will do a pretty fair amount of damage. Next Herald will be spawning soon, and if Iron Wolves take the Herald, they can use it in the bot lane, take the turret, and maybe rush him an inhibitor with it. On the other hand, Kenty, they did stay in the top lane as a 4-man squad, didn't do a single out attack on the top lane tier 2 turret. Enchanted Crystal Arrow. It was used on the top lane, from the top lane into the bot. but everybody from Iron Wolves already disengaged from that side of the map, which means Ionis's ulti will not hit anybody. Rimtulis found the ball onto Agentus, did a fair amount of damage, and now Oriana does have the shocker. Let's see what will happen from this fight. Iron waiting for that set. Ulti will not do anything, but Sand United is there, and now let's see. Shen will not appear in the fight. Nautilus died before Shen ulti actually ended up. Saulius went away with the Twisted Fate ulti. Not enough damage from Real and the other people from Kenty to actually kill him, but Real wants to chase, doesn't have the flash, does have the dash, but a really bad collateral damage used here. He wanted to snipe down Saulius, but Twisted Fate went on the other side of the map. Kenty take only 1 kill, but they will find the turret in the mid lane and maybe a tier 2 as well, since everybody wants to recall or do something else on the map besides defending this mid lane tier 2. Not gonna get destroyed, but did a same job as Iron Wolves did in the bot lane. Did a fair amount of damage on the tier 2, and whoever takes the Rift Herald with the Herald can take the turret down pretty easily. Agentus wants to start this as well as the Shen being the top lane. This looks like a 5-man rotation from the Iron Wolves. Only Saulius is not there, but Oriana is recalling. Flash is on cooldown, Shockwave as well. This looks like a free Herald for Iron Wolves, but Real does want to contest this. He's walking towards the objective, but it will be taken out before Graves even reaches it.
You're absolutely right. Kenty cannot contest this even if they have it on vision, though Iron Wolves need to recall really quick because Drake is up in 45 seconds. They need to get like 20 seconds before it spawns so they can set up the vision, they can set the perimeter for themselves, and Kenty shouldn't be able to walk up, though Smackler has his ultimate on cooldown. Every ultimate is on cooldown. I mean, Iron is gonna come in a couple of seconds, and they need to take this fight, because if they give the soul point to Iron Wolves, it's gonna be pretty much impossible to contest the Baron that's gonna come in 3 minutes, because if they have a soul point, you can easily trade Baron for a useless Drake. So Kenty really need to set up this one. Yeah, we can see they are chasing the bush. They need to do something. They know they need to do something. Iron Wolves have no vision whatsoever, and Solis doesn't have his ultimate as well, and he's on top lane split pushing. It's like they're just giving away this Drake. They don't even want to contest it. I mean, it's okay if they get something for it. They're gonna get a top lane turret which would fall anyway, so I think Kenty is pretty much okay with this, since it's not soul pointing. Kenty's gonna actually take the tier 2 tower on mid lane, so they're actually winning at this point in trading objectives at the moment. Actually, no, they didn't stay on mid, but yeah, the Drake is a really huge win for them, since Iron Wolves didn't get the soul point, and now they want to set up a dive bottom. But yeah, Dethrone was not born yesterday. He knows something is up, and he's just gonna let them take the tower.
Yeah, this will be a turret for turret trade, and in the meantime, Kenty, yeah, as you said, they did take the Ocean Drake, so first soul point for them, not that big of a deal, honestly. One Ocean Drake only provides 2.5% missing HP every 5 seconds, but the most important thing is that Iron Wolves didn't take it, because if that happened, Kenty will have to contest every single Drake from that point until someone takes the Ocean Soul. So Kenty actually denied their obligatory to be in the Dragon Pit every single time for the next 5 to 10, 20 minutes. They will have an opportunity to wait in this game for a few more minutes, maybe for Ashe to get the Runaan's Hurricane, for Oriana to complete her Magic Pen items, for Graves to complete a few more items, for Malphite to get the Abyssal Mask. Scaling is pretty good on the side of Kenty with the Ashe, with the Oriana, but also Saulius and Yashiro are definitely a strong guys on the side of Iron Wolves. Twisted Fate with full build, 1 gold card into wild card into auto attack, and somebody is probably dead. Well, at least the squishy targets. Also with Senna having the stacked Muramana and a lot of lethality items. Yashiro does a pretty fair amount of damage with his auto attacks. Not this point of the game, but later on that will definitely be an easy job for him. Also this run, so far not seeing the split push thing he usually does. I mean, he's playing Shen, so maybe that's not really a...
I mean, he has a split push as Shen.
He can be a split pusher Shen. He's playing against Malphite, so with the Titanic Hydra and the Sunfire Cape, he can actually kill him.
I don't like the
easily.
Sunfire Cape. I mean, you usually choose between the Tiamat and Bami Cinder because they both do the same thing. They both wave clear, and they both give you tanky stats, they both give you HP, and they both like give you the stats you need for the laning phase. But when you get out of the laning phase, you don't need so many wave clear items. You don't need that much. So maybe it was better for him to go for something like a Spectre's Owl, maybe a tanky item for his armor, but yeah, he just wants to be a side lane bully. It's better for a side lane, of course, but I mean, Kenty can still abuse it. They can play on off of his Stand United cooldown. They can try to take fights with, because Malphite has definitely, I think he has double lower cooldown than Shen Stand United with his R. I mean, something like that, but there's a very big difference, and they can.
Yeah, on first level, Shen's ulti is
180, 3 minutes exactly.
Yeah, 3 minutes, and Malphite is like between 2 and 2.5. So with the leveling,
I think it's a bit less because Malphite items is with cooldown reduction, and he even took Transcendence, so he's gonna have some cooldown reduction.
A lot of CDR, but yeah, I mean, in the side lane, he lands the taunt. He will do bonus damage with Bami Cinder. He also has the bonus auto attack damage with the Titanic Hydra proc. So against Malphite, yeah, it can work.
Yeah, it's better in the side lane.
I mean, in the late game again, if you hit taunt onto Ashe, Bami Cinder with the Titanic Hydra, she's dead. But against the Ashe and the Graves, and both of them got the Legend Alacrity. We saw it in the beginning of the game with the runes. None of them have the Legend Blood, and no life steal on the Ashe nor on the Graves, which means with that Legend Alacrity, if Shen goes for maybe a Tormil, goes for the Randuin's Omen.
Yeah, Omen was definitely
both of them will be dead without even having a chance at surviving. Maybe a QSS flash away or something like that, but definitely not enough to kill the Shen or to survive against him one-on-one.
Yeah, and not only that, the Omen gives him AoE movement speed slow, and that's really huge when you're against Ashe because she has no escape, she has no dashes, she can't escape you, and what's her compensation for it? She has her slows on her auto attacks. Shen doesn't care. If you're gonna slow her with your Randuin, she cannot kite you, she can't run away. So definitely there's, I mean, it differs. If you want to go silent, then definitely Bami Cinder is better, but if you want to use the Stand United and go more into teamfights, then Omen is a must pick for Shen.
Yeah, we'll see what he will go for. I mean, he's playing also against the Orianna, so maybe some magic resist can be useful for him, but also he's playing, as I said, against the Orianna. It's not the Rise, it's not the Cassiopeia, it's not the Veigar, so
what is that?
Not really sure if he needs actually any magic resist. We'll see this in the fight. This one will destroy him. Tool is 1v1. Taunt is on cooldown, which means that he will not kill the Orianna that easily, but he does a fair amount of damage. Yeah, I agree. I'm not really sure why Morello. Maybe because Kenty they want to give.
Yeah, but it's better for Graves to get Executioner and Dash to get Executioner. It's much more gold efficient than Morellonomicon, which is.
I mean, yeah, Trundle and Senna both have a good amount of healing.
Executioner
and with the Ocean Soul, it will be even more. And you cannot.
Yeah, but if you give them the Ocean Soul, you're just lost. I mean, no Morellonomicon is gonna save you from the Ocean Soul. And on the other hand, if you get Executioner, Orianna can easily go for that. Maybe even Liandry's Storm, and that's definitely a much more efficient item than Morellonomicon. I mean, Morello is okay when you're ahead, and when you just wanna one-shot the enemies. When you see Shen and Trundle, you're never gonna one-shot them. Even Twisted Fate has the Rod of Ages, he's quite tanky, and Senna has the Edge of Night, and you're definitely not gonna be able to one-shot those targets, and just Morello falls off, and it's not so gold efficient. But yeah, if he thinks it's good, if he can make it work, then I'm gonna believe in him. But I think I'm gonna say that Kenty, if they don't win the next team fight with their Wombo combo, they won't win the game.
Well, theoretically, I mean, there's a better chance for Orianna to hit the QW or QW ult combo onto Senna than for Ashe and Graves to auto-attack her. So applying Grievous Wounds will be easier for Imtulis than for Real and Dionis. But I agree, I mean, Morello is not that good of an item for Orianna right now. Even if he went for Void, for Torment, for anything else. I mean, on the other side, the only magic resist Iron Wolves have is the Negatron Cloak on the Goggle Stompit on Nautilus and the Spirit on Trundle. Maybe that's why he went for the Morel.
Perhaps.
Subjugate into Spirit, into Ocean Drakes. Honestly, it's a really healing Trundle, and also he does have the Senna, he does have the Stand United Shield. He will be pretty tanky, and also with Trundle being in the front line, no matter how much you move the ball, she will always find a way to go through the Trundle and apply the Grievous Wound. The Cheta Crystal will force Saulius to use Flash and the heal. Not really sure why both summoners.
Panic.
Yeah, panic attack probably, but now with Twisted Fate not having his summoners, one good Shockwave can change everything. Let's see what Kenty can do here. Smackler is looking for a flanking position with the Malphite. Will find the two-man knockup, and Shockwave is definitely gonna land here. Now waiting for the opportunity for that from Rim Tulis, but Saulius will be dead as well as Savieles and now Iron Wolves. They do have a Trundle with the Flash, with the Smite, but they are 3 against 5, which means the Drake contest will never happen at this point of the match.
Yeah, Kenty is back on board right now. Like I said, they need to win this team fight with their wombo combo. They didn't win the team fight. They got 2 kills and a second Ocean Drake, which is really good for them because now they are the ones that are not threatening the soul, but even the next Drake is really good because 3 Drakes of the same type is much better than 3 random.
7.5 HP, 7.5% missing HP. Being healed every 5 seconds. Honestly, 2.5, nothing special, but
5 is still nothing special. It's okay, and 7.5 is threatening.
There's a fair amount of
Yep.
health being regenerated, and also
look at this,
if they get the
chain
soul-
vests.
2 chain vests.
Yeah, Iron really needs the armor.
Oh, Rimtuli sees some problems. This time the Dreadling won't land, and Yashiro needs one more
Sexy
other
arrow.
for Rimtulis to kill, and now Saulus in some problems. He's under the turret, and Stand United will not be completed. Malphite is coming from the bot lane. His ulti is on cooldown, but Savieles will be locked down with the slow for Malphite Q. Bonus through damage is there, and Smackler, his ulti is back from the cooldown, which means these nodules will be exploded into the air. 2 kills for Kenty again, and now they can go and take the Baron. Ionis with the Bork, with the Runan's Hurricane. That Baron can be done pretty quickly. Also,
Yeah, it's a finish.
Real with the Black Cleaver and Legend Alacrity Graves has a fair amount of attack speed. Dethrone, Agentas, and Yashiro. Only Senna is a fair damage dealer here, but 2 tanks can actually give Yashiro a chance to win the fight. This will be a flash down coming in from Dethrone, trying to kill the Ashe, but the Ashe is focusing the Baron instead of the Shen, and now Dethrone can kill all of them. Yashiro in the back line, dealing a fair amount of damage, but Real as well as Meckler as well as Iron did not find enough damage onto the Senna. Dethrone will kill Rimtulis 1 against 1. Dethrone, honestly,
Why just
solo cancel the Baron. With the 2-man taunt, forcing Ionis to flash over the wall, killing Orianna 1 against 1. And in the meantime, Kenty just wanted to chase Yashiro down.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter.
Why just not kill the Shen? I mean, he used taunt, he used flash, he has no way of escaping. You wait for the zone to run out, you block with your champion so he can't get to Ashe because Baron Pit is so... I mean, when everyone gets into the pit, you don't have any room to walk, and when you have Malphite and Set in front of the Ashe, Shen can never, ever get so close enough to threaten her to die. I mean, Baron damage is still there, but Shen should have died there. I mean, Senna would have probably picked up a kill or 2, but they would have easily managed to survive it, and on the other side, Real is gonna kill the Solius. I mean, also the Sulti was there, but Solius is not gonna survive 1v4, and I think they're gonna threaten the Nash once again. Shen is bot lane, he doesn't have his Stand United, though he has the TP, he's definitely gonna use it.
Yeah,
and
here comes.
Yeah, Iron Wolves need to contest
And
this.
it's over the wall, so Dethrone can use the Blast Cone, and the 4-man taunt or 5-man taunt can be used here, but Trundle is gonna be CC locked, so maybe this can be a Baron for Kenty, but Shen found the taunt. Here comes the Senna ultimate. This will be a landed 3-man Shocky from Orianna, but Baron is definitely not low enough. This will be the double kill for Dethrone. So far, Smackler and Iron are 2 against 2 against Savieles and Agentas. Real did manage to find the kill in the enemy back line, but Baron reset.
Wait, they
This
just
will
let
be a
Savieles go.
14k HP Baron alive on the map, which means that Iron Wolves cannot take this nor the Kenty, but Kenty will try and take down this Nautilus once again.
Why is Agentas running with his... Just run away, you're gonna die either way! Run! Run, Agentas, run! I mean,
He was waiting for the pillar to come off cooldown to try and save Savielis in this situation, but
Yeah,
definitely
but it's a
wasn't enough.
Malphite. He's just gonna will him and get the movement speed buff.
That was on cooldown as well, so Gentas hoped for a pillar and a live Nautilus, but definitely wasn't enough. Honestly, Kenty is
They just threw
holding
the
up
lead.
pretty good.
Yeah, they just threw the lead with that Baron. I mean, Senna got a huge shutdown off of Graves because Real was chasing her, tried to kill Senna. Actually, Ashiro won, we won, but the problem was he didn't have his collateral damage. He used it on Solius before the fight even started. I mean, they did kill him, but you shouldn't then chase 1v1, and Senna just took the free shutdown for herself, and that's actually huge because right now she has the Edge of Night and the Duskblade, but Savielis is in a bit of trouble, or actually no, Iron Wolves want, maybe they want, yeah, they want to turn this.
Yeah, Shen found the taunt. Ionis is gonna be dead as well as Iron. There is a fair amount of shielding on that set, but Rim Tool is found the perfect disengaging shockwave. Saulius is gonna be killed in the enemy back line. He was trying to find the flank position with the Twisted Fate. Shen will end the taunt only onto this Malphite, but Iron found the perfect ulti. Dithron is gonna be dead as well. As Iron 2 for 2 is the outcome of this fight. Both junglers are alive, but only Gentas has the smite here. Yashiro is the only damage dealer, but with the Trundle and the Nautilus, there is a pretty good front line for Iron Wolves. On the other side, Kenty has 2 damage dealers with the Orianna, with the Graves. Well, Malphite kinda as well, with the Bramble Vests, Suffer Cape, and the Abyssal Mask. He is pretty strong in these fights if he wants to fight, but so far Kenty is the one that actually has the Drake. Iron Wolves still want to contest this again. Does have the flash, does have the smite and the flash, so maybe he can try and steal this if this it gets.
Ooh, they let it go.
Yeah, it's taken by Kenty, so now Kenty has 7.5% missing health being taken back every 5 seconds, and also with the second next Drake, they can take the soul. Graves, Ashe.
Everyone.
Healing is gonna be
Malphite.
massive, and nobody on Iron Wolves so far has a single healing reduction item. So this Morello on Orianna maybe wasn't even necessary, since they look like a team that will have this Dragon Soul. But maybe something will change in the next 5 minutes. Yashiro got the Edge of Night, got the Duskblade, has the stack tier, but still doesn't do enough in the fights. Saulius also.
Shen is going for the Executioner. Look.
You sure?
Yeah, but what's the other item? He can't get anything else.
Derek's maybe? I'm not really sure.
No, that's not that good because he won't get enough gold to finish it. I mean, it's a really expensive item, and on the other hand, Executioner is just better. And I think Trundle, oh no, I mean, I saw a Ruby Crystal, I saw Warden's Mail, and I said, okay, he's gonna get Bramble Vest and the free tournament, but no, he's going for Omen, and I mean, that's so bad in the itemization. Why just Shen needs to go for the Omen, and on the other side, Trundle needs to go for the Tormail, because everyone is gonna hit him with their basic attacks, and on the other side, Senna as well needs the Executioner's Calling. She needs her Mortal Reminder ASAP, because without healing reduction, they won't have any chance to contest even the next Drake, even the Baron, because there's gonna be so much healing on the side of Kenty. Ashe is gonna be a monster. I think even Iron is gonna get that Knight's Vow for his AD carry, and when Ashe gets the Infinity Edge with Blade of the Ruined King, that's gonna be quite a bit of healing and sustain. Ocean Soul, Knight's Vow, and that's gonna be really, really huge. And even Malphite cannot die at this point in the game. He's 4-0-6 with really decent items at this point. He's gonna get 16 off of this and the next wave, and that's gonna be a real pain for Iron Wolves. And as we can see, Kenty is always looking for some picks. They know they have the one combo, they know they're ahead at this point. Not in gold, but in the Drakes, in the map, they're definitely in the lead. And Twisted Fate, really Solius, it's not the pick. He's playing absolutely bad this game. I mean, 6 deaths, not even the deaths, his position in the teamfights were really, really bad, and he was really greedy this game, which should not have happened with Twisted Fate. And Shen has Warhammer.
That's then Shen.
But that doesn't work. I mean, you're in a side lane, Malphite will never 1v1 you. In a team fight, you won't get more than 3 autos
never in
off.
the side lane. That's the biggest problem. This turret in the bottom lane sits on like
from 15 minutes.
1/3 of itself. Yeah, legit since 15 minutes of the game, and Shen still didn't destroy it. I'm really not sure what will come out from this Warhammer. I mean, Death Dance looks like a best legit option for this, but here comes Saulius with the golden card. He will find the Ashe here. Ionis is gonna be destroyed. Now Smeckler may be in some problems if this one finds the taunt. Will not still use it, but definitely with the kill on the Ashe, Kenty loses a lot of DPS in the fight, which means Iron Wolves can go for the Baron, can go for the turrets. Saulius will go to the bot lane. Finally somebody will take this turret down. And Iron Wolves can maybe try and force the tier 2 in the mid lane as well. They do have some demolishers. Agentus did use the pillar here, and Smackler is waiting for a perfect opportunity for unstoppable force. Nobody grouped for him to actually take the Malphite ulti and hit the knockups, but Saulius in the backline with the blue card, with the Lich Bane. The tier 2 turret is gonna be destroyed pretty easily. Saulius doesn't have the flash. Smackler is looking for the... Oh, he used the heal, but he will be dead definitely. Iron flash pull into Smackler Q. That's a dead Saulius here. Not really sure if Malphite needed the ulti, as well as Shockwave and the Enchanted Crystal Arrow. Can really use the ulti just for fun. Like, use the collateral damage to clear the way.
Yeah, just use it.
Just use it because that's the trend, exactly. Perfect teamwork, perfect synergy. Everybody's using ulti, let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, there are no objectives on board. I mean, yeah, Baron is there, but Iron Wolves can't really rush it with the champions. They have Senna, is not that good at DPSing the Baron Twisted Fate as well. Trundle is okay because his basic attacks do nice damage, but yeah, Shen is never gonna be there. He wants to be in a silent and use his Stand United when the fight erupts. So yeah, it's not that big of a problem since they're gonna have their ultimates back for the Drake. Or actually not, Iron is at half of the cooldown and Smackler needs around 10 to 20 more seconds for his ultimate. Shockwave is here though, and now if Iron Wolves let Kenty get this Drake, they're gonna be completely lost in this game. It doesn't matter what items they have, it doesn't matter what champions they use, they are gonna get totally demolished. They need to take this Drake. Just let Agentus steal it, don't force the fight. Or just do anything and take the Drake.
Yeah, here comes Saulius with the Twisted Fate ulti. He will use it in the enemy backline. He's looking for the Ionis gold card. Will definitely CC lock the Ashe. He will lose the 75% of his HP. Rimtulis is gonna be locked with the golden card as well. And Saulius found the perfect flank. This will not be the Drake for any team. At least for now, Smackler ulti isn't cooldown. He will not do anything here. Stand United will manage to actually save Saulius here. That will not be Iron using the W to secure the kill. Only guy dead on the side of Iron Wolves will be their support, but nobody cares. They do get the third Drake. Third soul point, which means Kenty doesn't have the soul for at least next 5 minutes. And now with 3 people being dead, Iron Wolves can go for the Baron. Only guys that can actually contest this are the Smackler and the Ionis, but both ultis are on cooldown and Malphite and Dash solo cannot possibly kill 4 guys on the side of Iron Wolves. Also, those are 2 frontliners, 2 damage dealers and 2 tanks. Well, destroying everybody. So, not really sure how Kenty can contest this. Nobody has a TP, everybody's respawning in 10 or so seconds.
Yeah, just don't do it.
Yeah, this is a free Baron, no way for it to actually be stolen. Maybe Ionis used the volley over the wall, but that's like a 300 damage crit against
that's 1% chance for
almost 1000 damage smite, so another chance for it to be stolen. So Iron Wolves do have 5 guys with a Baron buff, and finally something on the map happened that actually gave some team a chance to secure the win.
Yeah, and right now Saulius is back in the game. It's really, I'm very pleased. Like, he was inexistent until this team fight where he solo won the team fight. He stunned 2 targets, he solo killed Ionis. Actually, he didn't kill him, but he took like 80% of his HP, and Rimtulis didn't really have a good position on his ball for the Shockwave, and now they took the Drake, they took the Baron. Iron Wolves are back in the game, and now here comes Destiny, here comes the stun. He literally one-shot the Ionis, and I think this is pretty much over for Kenty.
Yes, Saulius will die here, but it doesn't really look like it will be a bother for Iron Wolves. They still have a Shen and the Senna. I mean, they did win the trade.
They lost Baron. They
lost one guy with the Baron, but still not really a problem. But there is a Malphite Orianna combo in the mid lane. Ball will be used, but will not hit anybody. Smackler waiting for the ulti. It will not land that easily. Malphite is stunned. He will end the Treeman knockup, but nobody's touching Yashiro so far, and he can use all the crits here to kill every single person on the side of Kenty. Real is pretty low on HP. He will dash away. Seth will probably die here. Does have the stopwatch, but Agentus will probably kill him under turret. Does have a fair amount of shielding here, which will save Iron's life, but Real will be actually the one dying. He or she is on killing spree for 1 on the Sen, and 4 guys alive on the side of the Iron Wolves with the Baron buff. This will be a mid lane inhibitor, maybe even a game. 25 seconds until Orianna comes from the respawn timer, 30 seconds until Malphite, 45 for the Graves, only Set and Dash alive. Iron with the full tank build, definitely not gonna save this Nexus, but Ionis, if he finds a perfect auto attack combo, this will be good. But Savielas and Dethrone, Sissy lock the Ashe, this will be an ace for Iron Wolves, and after almost 40-minute game, Iron Wolves take down Kenty and secure the 3rd place on the table.
Iron Wolves are the better team in this match. They showed us that they can even come back, even though some of their players weren't online here, but yet at the end of the game we saw them come back. We're gonna talk with Michko and Glisha what happened in this game and how did Iron Wolves come back from deficit that they were in. Guys, we saw Iron Wolves here. Kenty was... In one hand, it seemed like Kenty was leading the game. They were leading the tempo. Saulius was, I don't know, he was not doing a lot.
Yeah, he wasn't.
He wasn't. Yes, Saulius wasn't. And then, and what happened there with Kenty? How did they take the lead?
Well, I mean, this game was all over the place. Iron Wolves were the one that got lead in the beginning. They took 2 Drakes. They had pretty much everything in their hands. But then, like I said, Kenty had 1 shot to take the team fight and use their wombo combo. And they did it. They killed Saulius. They killed 1 more. I think it was the support that died as well. And they took the first Drake. Actually, no, that wasn't the second Drake, because Iron Wolves let the first Drake go for no reason whatsoever. And that was really the problem for me, because Saulius went top lane. He didn't have his destiny and he had heal instead of TP, so there was no way for him to contest the Drake, and Kenty said, okay, he stopped, no ultimate, we're gonna take a free Drake, and that's just what happened. And then they used the Bomb Combo, killed 2 people, and all of a sudden they had the game in their hands until, I mean, Saulius woke up at some point. He was inexistent, and then he just solo won the team fight at the 4th Drake, at the most important Drake. He one-shotted Ashe, he one-shotted Orianna as well, I think, and Orianna didn't have a position for a great shockwave. Even if it was a closed space, she couldn't do anything because of only Saulius. On the other side, Shen was the one that held the Iron Wolves in place when they didn't have a lead, when they were behind, because those 2 Baron plays were just nearly perfect from him, and he definitely saved the game more than once.
Michko, is that someone? Is that something that you need when you're losing the game? A player, a champion, or 2 players that are holding together the team. Since we saw, as Glisha said here, Shen was something that was holding their whole team together, and he was not letting the opposite team take their Nexus. Is that something that you need to have?
Well, sure. I mean, Shen was doing a pretty good job during that Baron fight. The biggest problem on the side of Kenty is that nobody had a magic pen or armor pen, and Shen was able to like 1v1 everybody, and nobody could kill him 1v1 without even like burning down 50% of his HP. He was pretty good. He was pretty tanky. He was dealing a pretty good amount of damage as well. So he was very tough opponent for everybody in the Kenty's team. So he managed to secure, not secure, but stop the Baron, Kenty's Baron 1 against 2. Him and the Baron against Ashe and Orianna. He killed one of them, forced the flash out of the second one, and finally when Iron Wolves found a way to actually take down the second turret in the bot lane, then Kenty kind of started losing the game. At the moment when Iron Wolves like woke up and started doing some macro plays instead of, okay, let's just go and fight, let's go and fight. At that point, Kenty looked like a team that has no idea what's going on the map. Also, the last fight wasn't that perfect for them. Malphite was waiting a lot of time to use the ulti. In the meantime, Orianna already died, so there wasn't a perfect CC chain, and nobody touched the MVP of this game, which is Yashiro. So Senna with 4 items with a huge amount of crit chance is definitely a tough opponent to kill. So Kenty... It was an overall good performance, but I'm not sure if Kenty performed like a godlike team or Iron Wolves controlled a bit this game, because honestly, Saulius's game, besides that Destiny flank on the Dragon when he hit 2 gold cards, secured 2 kills for his team, besides that, we didn't see much from their mid laners.
Did Kenty shut him down, or he just misplayed?
Kind of both.
What was that?
Saulius misplayed all the way. I mean, his position was terrible until the last team fight. He didn't know where he was on the map. But like I said, he was top while the third Drake was up. You should never do that unless you have TP or Destiny on cooldown, off cooldown. And if Iron Wolves lost this game, it would definitely be Saulius' fault. And one more thing, I would disagree a bit with the MVP. I mean, Yashiro played really well, but without the Shen, they wouldn't have managed to win the game.
Yeah, just as you said, Shen was someone they needed in times of need. We'll talk with Yashiro here and ask him how he managed to stay in his position and to crit all over the place. Yashiro, congrats on your victory.
Thanks. Hello.
How do you feel after this victory? It was, it seemed like a chaotic game. It was, as we mentioned here, it was a bit all over the place. What are your feelings after this game?
It wasn't our cleanest game for sure. We also drafted without the coach because we had some issues, but the draft itself was fine, but it was pretty hard to play against them. The Malphite pick caught us a bit off guard, so it was a bit difficult to play, but we managed to win somehow.
And at some point, did you think that Twisted Fate wasn't really a good pickup here?
I think Twisted Fate might have been fine, but Solus just had a bad game. He was just spaced out, I guess. Wasn't playing his best.
How did it affect him at one point? Did you guys cheer him up? Because we saw that he was misplaying, and then at one point at that Drake fight, then he landed 2 golden cards and he turned over the team fight. Did you guys? How did you communicate with him?
I think like our team's mental is pretty fine. Like we never really tilted this game, or like Solus didn't ever get mad or something. He was still trying his best all the time. So I think that was a small part in the victory.
And how is it for you coming from the Balkans, from EBL, coming into the Baltic Masters? How does it feel?
I played here before, obviously, but I think it's fine. I was a sub there. And didn't really have much playtime, didn't scrim, so it's nice to be on the main roster and just play scrims and practice and try to win it all.
Do you think that you are now more experienced since you played in different leagues?
I played before in Polish league as well. I think it's like really obvious that other leagues are way better than Baltics, but we didn't play that many scrims yet, but I think in the upcoming weeks when we make playoffs, we should really stomp everyone and should be an easy W.
Yashiro, thanks for the interview and wish you all the best in the upcoming matches.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, the Twisted Fate was, as he said, might have been good. I mean, it was a good pickup, but then Saulius was just had a bad game. I think that happens, right?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you have to be non-human for it not to happen, because someone always has to have a bad game.
Even Faker makes mistakes.
Of course, I mean, even Faker flashes the wall.
Yeah, although I didn't like Twisted Fate only because like he picked Twisted Fate. you pick it for the global pressure. We didn't see a single Twisted Fate ulti on the top, on the bot,
I think
during
there
the
was
laning
one.
phase.
I think there was one.
Yeah, maybe one, but definitely one is not enough when you go for the Twisted Fate. Shen was doing pretty better job at that point, but when you have a Twisted Fate and the Shen, that's a 5-man rotation on the bot lane. You make dives, you secure the turret, you take the kills, you take the Drake. That did not work out as it could have, but it worked out pretty fine for them to maintain the gold lead for the whole game. Even when it looked like they were losing, they had a slight gold lead, like maybe a half a thousand, maybe 1,000, but not that big of a lead. But also they never were losing during the whole game, so they kind of managed to maintain the gold lead for the whole game.
And after our third game of the day, we're gonna go ahead and take a look at the scoreboard. That's what we are interested in. Let's see where do the teams stand right now. 5 Kings undefeated 7-0, Just for Fun 5-2. Now they're definitely on the second place. Iron Wolves 4-3. They're coming for it. Estonian Vipers 3-4, and on the last places there are 2 teams, Team Infamous and Kenty, that both have the same result. It's 1-6. This is our scoreboard, and I think we are going into this finals like pretty. I mean, we don't know who's gonna end up in the top 4, but we can now get a hint here.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, three games left, and only 2 games is the difference between the bottom 2 teams and the 4th team on the table. So they still have a chance, but with the performance they have so far, doesn't really look like it. Maybe if I had to choose a team from the bottom side who will make a surprise and make a run for the top 4, that will be Kenty Infamous. Seeing them from week to week, from day to day, they don't look like the team that's improving. Kenty got a new jungler. They look pretty aggressive, and they almost took a win from some of the strongest teams. So maybe they can have a chance if they get maybe a easier schedule, easier opponents. Maybe they can look to secure the win.
Yeah, well, we'll see if Kenty can do that. Thank you guys for tonight. It was at one point an easy night, and then we had this game that woke us up. So
it was exciting.
It was an exciting night. Ladies and gentlemen, this was all for tonight. Of course, tune in tomorrow, as you know, from 19 o'clock. We're gonna see Team Infamous play 5 Kings, Estonian Vipers against Iron Wolves, and Just for Fun versus Kenty. This second match might be the most exciting one. As you saw today, we had 2 easy matches, and then there was a favorite in the match. There was, I think, only 2% more votes for Iron Wolves, and they got the win. Ladies and gentlemen, this was round 7 of Baltic Masters. Good night.
A pair of jeans, a shirt or 2. We didn't pack as if we weren't going back. It doesn't matter if it's true. I've got a feeling love will give us what we lack. The world is waiting up. The world is waiting half a step beyond our door. And if it's not enough, I wanna see the stuff the world has got in store. I wanna take it all in, I'm falling. The cityscape by night, wanna catch in my photos. Where you go, every corner twice as bright. They'll be my treasures forever. When I can't hold you tight, I'll see the Stockholm lights. The Stockholm lights, the Stockholm lights. Tomorrow feels a year away, like the seconds, the beginning and the end. But if in time it's yesterday, your picture's gonna bring it home to me again. The world is waiting up. The world is waiting half a step beyond our door. And if it's not enough, I wanna see the stuff the world has got in store. I wanna take it all in, I'm falling. The cityscape by night, wanna catch in my photos. Where you go, every corner twice as bright. They'll be my treasures forever. When I can't hold you tight, I'll see the Stockholm lights. The Stockholm lights, the Stockholm lights.